meeting come to order. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful Lord's Day, and we just thank you for the blessings of life, Lord, that you bestowed upon us. Lord, we ask you to just go with us in this meeting tonight, that everything we would do here would be pleasing in your eyes. And Lord, we just ask a special blessing upon our schools right now as we get back to school, and we just give the safety that we need there for that. So, Lord, we just ask you to be with us tonight in this meeting, and everything we do will be in your favor. In Jesus' precious name we ask.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight to our August 12th, City Council meeting. We'll start off with the roll call. Curtis is back there in the back. Wendy is here. Miss Sue is here. Tyler's here. Franklin is here. I'm here. Sherry's here. Miss Virginia's here. And Mr. Warren, our illustrious attorney, is here with us. So, the one that is Jeff is not going to be here because he had a prior engagement. That's right. So, you going to take care of that tonight and everything?
Yeah, talking all over stuff.
All right, so all present accounted for, and we had a chance to look over the agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next up is the approval of the minutes for the July 15th budget workshop.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 15th budget workshop.
Second.
Again, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next up is the minutes for the July 15th, 2024 Town Council meeting.
Move approval of the minutes from the July 15th council meeting.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. All right, moving right on along. Next up is our public participation. Yes, participation. We ask that you come to if you wish to speak, you need to fill out one of these forms in the back and present it to Miss Wendy. We need you to approach the podium, speak clearly, state your full name and address for the record, and your comments will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. First one up is Elijah.
As you probably know, my name is Elijah Williams, live here in Bronson, Florida, right in Florida. 351 Glover Street, been here since 1949. What I'm going to talk about and try to do it in 3 minutes, as fast as I can. It's time for a change here. And where I'm coming from is what I'm looking at is, it looks like to me, our GM has control over everything. And if she's going to be in control over everything, I don't need a council. I don't need a mayor. If she's going to do that. Seems like you all are not having no input on anything. I'll give you an example. The guy that was doing the cemetery, that's gone. We got this other guy coming from New York or wherever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. Why didn't we have somebody here in our town that could have been interviewed for that job? Why are we going way in New York to do that? And another thing, why don't we post these jobs on the marquee? It's all right to do. We don't do that. it looks like we hide things. And I don't know, we might be hiding people we want to hide. And I'm talking about the GM. It's gonna be straight. You all are letting her have too much room. Too much room. You all should have some input. If you don't, then I don't need none of you. But you can't say anything. And it's really tough. Because, you don't even know what's going on. It looks like the mayor, he don't have time to put in the night. I talk to him all the time, he said he might not be here next year. Okay? So hopefully, the next mayor will look at what I'm talking about. You don't let no one person run nothing. I'm gonna go back to your fire department. Dennis. I think Dennis is going because the GM run them away. What does she know about what Dennis did? Not a thing.
Not at all.
And then, I remember him, he didn't know nothing about that until he was leader, 2 weeks. That's when he learned. So that was key. We shouldn't hide things up here. We shouldn't. This town ran perfect without a GM. Perfect. And what is the GM doing? What is the GM doing? Tell me. No, you can't do it.
So, have you seen the backlog of stuff that was in that town hall that needed to be done before that her and Wendy got hired? You'd know they were doing something.
Women were perfectly doing herself without a GM.
All right, Mr. Lodge, I appreciate your comments. We will take them into consideration. David, you're up next.
All right, so my wife's probably wait a second. But we made it to Alabama. Girls placed 5th. I thought it was 4th to begin with, but it was 5th. Runners up on losers bracket, I guess you could say. We had a really good time. It was definitely once in a lifetime thing. Well, I don't want to make it once in a lifetime. I'd like to do it again. So I would like to thank each and every one of y'all for helping support that and getting our girls there and all that good stuff. Another thing is y'all said we should look at it in a different manner. The way we were looking at our fundraising and all that good stuff. I understand that kind of clicked, after the whole thing. So it'll definitely be a little different next time. There was a learning curve, but it was definitely a blast. The girls had a lot of fun. We have 2 girls, 1 Golden Glove, all defensive players. Multiple girls got off the board throughout the
Player of the game that was given out each game.
yeah. So I mean, they had a lot of fun. They did a lot of bonding together. So it was really nice. I want to thank y'all for helping and supporting the girls.
How many teams was it?
It's throughout the 16.
Yeah.
The 16, there was 6 teams in all. We played against Australia. We played against the Netherlands. We played against
There was Indiana, there was a team from New Jersey, there was a team from New Orleans.
so it was definitely fun. Now throughout the whole thing,
How many teams was there?
there were 6 in the 16U division. Overall, I want
I think it was 57.
That's good. So we came in 5th out of 57.
No,
out of
six.
six.
Out of six.
Of the 6.
And there are injuries. There was
Yeah,
six.
Maybe about
exactly.
16.
The 16s, there were 6 in the 16s, and we pulled out 5th. So we took a medal home.
We got second in our bracket.
There was another team that took nothing home, and we were not that team.
Right.
And the girls had a blast. Like I said, we went to the rivers, and they all dressed in beautiful blue outfits and took pictures, and it was really nice. So it's definitely something we look forward to again. We were definitely not discourage anybody from trying. Because,
At least you got experience now.
Right, right. Got the experience in it, and like I said, they had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So, it was really nice.
Set the bar really high for next year.
Yes, yes, and like I said, definitely, baseball's playing right now here in Florida. So I mean, it's definitely something to look forward to. Baseball and softball from here on out. It's definitely
That's good.
a stepping stone to go with.
Was your living quarters good?
Yes, everybody kind of got their own motels. So a bunch of us got it all in one motel. So it was really nice. It wasn't bad.
Let me ask you, do you feel that we need to support a little bit more?
I believe.
Help you out? I mean, you gotta tell these people.
I believe that, no, I think y'all support it. I think y'all do good. The only thing I would suggest and ask for more support is, if we could then put on the kiosks.
Yes, our girls are the Florida State Champions for 2024 for Babe Ruth softball, and we would appreciate it if you guys would put that on the kiosk or on something. So
It's gonna be in the newsletter.
Okay.
We already have the pictures.
We put it on March.
So, and the newsletter goes home to everybody that gets mailed. So more people will see it in the newsletter. And it's gonna be on the Facebook that we just.
Very
I'm
good.
hoping that y'all have enough to put a float in the parade, maybe.
Oh, we'll definitely have a float.
Well, I know that kids will be spread out in different sports, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm hoping that you definitely have enough for,
We'll make sure.
yes, yes.
Definitely, yes.
Why not? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they've earned it.
Yes,
Yeah.
they definitely earned it. Like I said, we had 2 Golden Glove winners out of it.
And they only picked 10
They
out of
only
the whole
picked 10 out of
16
all the
division.
16
That was
girls.
based on statistics that were kept by their sport.
So we're proud of the girls. They did really good, and even the bigger ones helped the littler ones. I mean, like I said, we went with some 13-year-olds
Older
and
ones helped the
16-year-olds.
older ones.
That's right. The older ones helped the younger ones, you know, and they opened up. They helped the little girls open up and stand on their own 2 feet when it was their time to stand up and swing that back. Real happy with it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's it?
Yep. Thank you, sir. All right, next up is Coach Matt Taylor from Bronson Youth Sports.
Need my address, sir?
Please.
It's 10490 Northeast 131st Place, Archer, Florida, 32618. Come over here today, give you take a few minutes. So my name is Matt Taylor. I'm retired U.S. Army Airborne Combat Engineer. I moved here 9 years ago. Last year, I joined as a teacher and joined the sports program as a coach in 12U, middle school, high school football, and weightlifting. This year, I took over as the head coach of 12U, but Ken Jones stepped down and moved away. And in that time last year, we played in equipment substandard, but the kids didn't pay, so we kind of worked to do that. The kids cracked 3 helmets during the season last year due to the age of the helmets. So moving forward, for the last 6 months, while I was a teacher, I've been training the kids for this coming football season. Got a pretty good roster, and throughout this whole time period, trying to get the program through BYS moving in the right direction. We go through it consistently, never getting the equipment we need. And at first I'm told there's money to get stuff, and then the money's not there, and then I'm told, well, you gotta hit this number of players, and hit that number of players, then when we hit that number of players, now we need more players. So as of last Monday, I asked to have a meeting with people that run the BYS. Went there, had a meeting, fairly hostile. I tried to be pretty cool about it. I was getting yelled at, and after about 3 times I said I had enough of that. I would use foul language here when you want to hear it. And the gentleman who's here, David, went to his truck to grab a weapon and said he would Wilmington, Dutch Way, or something along those lines. So I got in my truck and left. Made a call to you, made a call to a couple other people. Moving forward of that same afternoon, I was asked to come back out there and then become the head coach again because the parents were going to leave the program. Because I didn't go to their 6 o'clock meeting due to the fact someone had threatened to shoot me earlier that day. So, nonetheless, I finally decided to go because all the parents were calling me, and most of these kids I taught last year. I was a 5th grade math science teacher at Bronson last year. So, went back out there, and me and my son went with me. I stayed on the parking lot side due to those people were there. I told the parents I would not coach here, will not coach here. I took all the team, we're now playing this cheap one. In 3 to 4 months, we could get helmets, practice equipment, anything we needed. In 3 hours, Chief One gave us everything we needed for a team. Your kids that live here are playing as Chief One. They will go to school in Chief One come middle school because we do not support them here. My son was offered to go to Williston and Trenton, but I kept him here, and he's an athlete because this is where I live. I've been here 9 years. This town's dying if y'all don't stop letting kids leave here. That's a fact. And I ain't trying to be mean, I'm just a realistic. I was in the Army. I don't sugarcoat stuff, this is reality. I taught here at Bronson after 1 year teaching. One of the reasons I left, primary reason, I had to pass kids who could not read, could not pass to the 6th grade. So what are we doing here? So moving forward, I will, as myself and other parents I've talked to, I've told them not to bring their kids back to Bronson. They're going to move to Chief One Wilson probably unless y'all replace the people running BYS. And it needs to be someone who maybe knows how to run a business. I run $1.8 billion pipeline job. I'm a pipeline inspector by trade. I'm running Gainesville Dodge as a sales manager doing $1 million months. You need somebody who actually understands how to run a business out here. And if you don't, that's fine. You'll keep seeing the kids leave this town and go to other schools where they have an opportunity. I appreciate it.
All right, next up is the Florida House.
Are we allowed to speak on that?
We have a vote here. The next up is, yes.
Sure.
All right, so we had a faculty meeting the other day where we learned that there are some very expensive things coming down the pipeline, mandates that were made by the governor that, and the legislature that they didn't offer funding for. One of them would be for the fact that, for example, Bronson Youth Sports uses the gym pretty much every Saturday in February and March for basketball. Now, because of the law, you are going to be required to have a deputy or a SRO there, and they get $55 an hour. And we are not allowed to waive that fee. We don't pay it. We are required to have a resource officer pretty much anytime that there's kids on campus except for practice, we have to have our resource officer there. So for example, our resource officer will work from 7:30, 8 that morning to, like, let's say there's a football game that night, he's there until everybody leaves that night. So his overtime, whatever they pay, is supposed to come from the sheriff's office, but I'm having a feeling that they're going to be going to the school board because right now it's just crazy. Because at our school alone, we're not talking about what's going to happen when you look at the cost for Cedar Key, Wilson, for Chiefland, and for us. We have 4 high schools, so you have sporting events, with the exception right now because Cedar Key doesn't have football. Once, let's say, basketball season starts, you're going to have resource officers that are working 12, 15-hour days all season long, and they got to be paid for somebody. So I know, like with the gym, the school waives the fee that we normally charge for facilities use, but they're not going to.
We paid that last year. It is not waived at all.
No, you paid for custodians. You didn't pay for the facilities use fee. So that fee, it is, I saw the paperwork, I know what you paid. So you go through it, and that's that fee. So now 5 hours or whatever at $55 an hour is what you will be required to pay every single Saturday. And we don't have any control over it. So I was bringing that to the attention so that everybody knows that when it comes time to do those schedules, we may end up having less stuff here. And it's not just us, this is the whole state. This is an effect. We have to have a resource officer. They did testing for kids who failed who take the Algebra 1 test. You have to have a graduate. We had to have a resource officer for those kids to be in a classroom to take their test. That's the law. So he had to be paid for that. They don't normally work at the school like that during the summer. So he had to arrange it with his schedule, pick that day, and then you couldn't do it another day because then you would have had to start over. So a lot of that is going to happen. It's going to be for FFA meetings, for banquets, for whatever you have on campus. You have to have an SRO or a deputy there. Period. Point blank. He said so. And there is absolutely no funding that came along with that.
And that's just for
Can I speak? I'm filling out a paper. Not your situation? You got time?
You gotta,
Yes, sir.
come up to the
You're welcome. Jack Martell, 5291 Northeast, 103rd Terrace. I'm here just about the BYS sports program. Is there any way we can track where the money's going? I know it's coming in, but where it's going to. We've got 4 kids that play sports. They play football, they play baseball. I'm a coach. I donate my time. I do a lot of things for the field for free. The equipment, I didn't prepare anything. I wasn't planning on talking, but I just think it could be managed a lot better. Does any of y'all have an idea where the money's going?
The only thing we can tell you is how much, what we put in there.
Okay. I don't need to know the figures. I mean,
public knowledge, you know.
public knowledge. I mean, but from softball to baseball to soccer. I mean, each one of these children was $84 a piece, something like that. I don't know what they're paying. Pile of money going into it, and I just don't see the return. I don't care about the money for me or him or anybody else. We just want kids to have good equipment, nice fields. When we have other teams come play here, and we got grass in the infield, we got to play on this field because there's no maintenance. Who pays for the maintenance on the field? Is it the county that mows the fields and does the fields? The city. So the city takes care of that, so that doesn't come out of BYS, correct? Okay, so that's a major part right there. So if we just throw a little bit of money from BYS into some new place and new
The players out there.
plays out there, everything's out. You know what I mean? But
We need the volunteers to step up and actually help us do it, so I'm not the only one shoveling.
I'm out there with my tractor drove from the house with my son, and we did it. I got a pile of people that are ready to give, I ain't looking for no money.
Where are they when we have to sign up sheet, sir?
All you gotta do is make a phone call, we're out there. I mean, we've been out there. We don't
have.
fix
Matt
all
Myers is the
for free,
only one
you know what I
who's
mean?
come
And
out there and
it's
worked
not
on
that,
this.
it's not a this and that, it's for the children. I wanna keep the kids here. I have 4 kids that are gonna play football here. They've been practicing since January, you know what I mean? Practicing since January, and now they went to Chiefs with the last minute. Thank God they took it because they want to play football, And like I said, it's not about money. We don't care about making no money. We got plenty of volunteers. All the parents volunteer. I volunteer. Tyler volunteers. I paid for all the coaches' jerseys last year, I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about the kids. I'm worried about here. That's great. They got to travel and go here, there, and that with the softball team. But let's worry about the kids here, Let's worry about the programs here. Where we bring other teams from other towns, other counties here. Let's represent Bronson. You know what I mean? Let's do that. I mean, there's a pile of money somewhere. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it's going to. But
There is a
when you got money,
nonprofit organization, we have to file taxes every year. There's a
Well,
law.
well, is it all public information where it is, where it's going? Is that public information? It's supposed to be. Well, if it's supposed to be, then
Come to the meeting, sir.
I'm not.
We need to put it back in a hush until he gets to talk.
thank you, Mr. Lott.
I'm not trying to get loud, I'm just animated, I'm sorry.
No, it's about your kids. And
Yeah,
we
that's,
all
I
get-
don't care.
Yeah, we
I
all
don't
are
want kids,
passionate about our children.
Yeah.
It will be a point where their contract is up, and then other people have the opportunity to take the contract, but you have to have something going before them. I mean,
Correct,
It
but-
doesn't just work like, okay,
Yeah,
we're,
just snap your finger.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't-
understand business, but I'm just saying, is there somewhere I can look online or public record? Can I go across the
You can
street
come to the
and
meeting
get?
and ask, and we'll give it to you.
Please, please.
Okay, I just want to know if there's some information that I can get to see where, you know, X, Y, and Z was spent on this, this, and this, because if the city or whoever is doing all the maintenance out there in the field, we have the clay, we have this, well, we don't have new bases, we don't have new catcher's equipment. I mean, this is stuff that protects the children, but it's all falling apart, doesn't fit them, whatever. We don't need top of the line stuff, but it'd be nice to have some new equipment every couple of years, something like that, you know, some maintenance on the field, some major maintenance on the field, you know, and I don't think that's too expensive. I drive my tractor down there, I'll help. We get a pile of people to go down there and help, but it's just like there's a lot of money being spent. It's just, it seems like it's unorganized, a lot of unorganization. We bought tubs of baseballs for the children, so they have baseballs to use. I mean, I'm not in their shoes. I'm not complaining about what they're doing. I'm just wondering where the money is, because there is a lot of money going in. And I don't know where it's going out. That's
Well,
all my concern is.
I can tell you that in the past, before they took it over, when the town was over, I can tell you there's a lot of times where parents would come to the town and say, I don't have money to pay for my child to play, but they'd come up in a brand new mud truck the next week. So I'm not saying that you're not right, but I'm saying that it doesn't matter who's running it, you're gonna have these problems.
You're always going to
And
have
they-
problems, I understand that.
And honestly, the communication with the Lambs has got to get better, because you should be able to go to them and ask them that
Well-
without them getting their blood pressure up and it becoming a catastrophe in the parking lot.
100%. It's not only that. It's like baseball season. You know, we got a schedule. We got tournaments. Rain. You know, nature can happen, but you know, this is over here. Then it's not going to happen this weekend, but this is going to happen this weekend. It's very unorganized. Everything is super unorganized.
That's the best word to use.
And to understand the mechanics of how this thing works, Bronson Youth League is appointed by a person, where, by the town council to take care of it. And they have a what is it, a 501c3? That's Bronson Youth League. They have a contract. Mr. Warren, if you have checked on this for us, correct?
Sitting here in front of me.
Okay. You want to elaborate on this at this point in time, or you want to?
Well, there's nothing ridiculous to elaborate on. As you said, they are working under a contract that expires at February.
It doesn't expire, it's continuously renewing by year until somebody gives a 60-day notice in writing.
What can I say? That is exactly correct, which doesn't mean it continues if they choose to discontinue.
Right, as long as they give the
If
notice.
they give the 60-day notice in
Who is
writing,
it?
we do not.
60-day notice before the end of the current term. Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the
Exactly
day,
true.
I don't care what y'all decide. I'm just telling you, like, we could make for the children, you know, the association, all the sports. I think we could do a lot better. That's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying. They're probably doing a
And with that.
Good job.
Said that, we understand that there is some discontent here, and we're all aware of it, and we will take that into consideration. And like you said, as far as what we, the town of Bronson, puts in there, all of that is public knowledge. All you've got to do is make a phone call over to the city hall,
yeah.
and they will tell you.
Same here.
Yes.
And they're offering that to you as we speak.
Okay, so if there's X amount of dollars on paper, and then who would you go to if it seems like there's an abundance of money not being spent on certain items?
Again, we go to the fact that we do not control the mechanics.
So they should have a board, they should have a board, and you can go to them. And first of all, I just want to say, please do not take anything that he
Yes, I'm not
says.
bashing on anyone.
Please
I'm
don't
not
take
doing
what
that. I
he's
just wanted to
saying
know.
as anything directed towards
No, I
y'all.
understand.
He's just a
Business,
concerned
looking at
parent
concerned parent, he's
who
looking at the
who really
business
wants us to
aspect.
grow together.
I agree, it would be nice if
If
they
they
would come to us before they came here.
But
and
you,
this way.
hold on, because we just had another parent saying
There's
that
5 board members.
There are 5 board members, they can speak with anyone. Destin happens to be sitting here too, she's not a board
She's our
member, but she's
registrar.
our registrar, and everybody should know her and could contact her.
Who's your football person?
It was supposed to be, Mr. Taylor,
I was fired last month.
who was not fired. He got upset and said he would not be there. When we had a meeting with the parents last Monday, it was said he could continue.
So is the football commissioner responsible for making sure the equipment gets reconditioned, or is that your responsibility?
That is ours. However, this football equipment does not need to be reconditioned. It is
Would you
still
like to see
in good working
pictures?
order. You can show pictures. Mr. Curtis has seen our football equipment. He knows what we've got. We've talked with him about it. We've talked with Lee Bell about it and other people like that. okay?
But they don't do, that's not who does.
That's the
And
other
do
thing,
they-
like.
In the future, it would
I'm
be.
sorry.
Do they have a
I mean,
baseball
like
commissioner?
equipment inspection, helmets, football pads, baseball pads, I mean, all that's gonna be up to date, up to par, for kids and children, not be torn, tattered, whatever, I mean, fields can use some love, you know what I mean, it's just, I'm just here for the kids having fun, I remember being a kid playing sports, you know what I mean? And for them to go, I just had 4 the other day, just go cheap, just because we couldn't do the football program.
and you wanted them to be Eagles.
Yeah, yeah.
We wanted
100%.
them
I
to
mean,
be Eagles also.
Well,
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
I'll respond to the field conditions situation. Of course, we've had wet conditions going on.
Oh,
The play's been out there. We've been trying to get in, to move equipment on that field, to put that clay on that field. We almost got to the point that we could do it here not too long ago when we got dry enough for it. Because if you go out there right now, you will leave some, well,
yeah, it's
ruts everywhere.
it's soggy, for sure.
Curtis and I have sat down and we've talked about a game plan as far as overseeing the field. And what I mean by that is putting sand on it to let it, to try to raise the elevation up a little bit on it. The football field has a
Natural
well, it's not natural, the county did that for us. It has where the water will run off and it has other drainage.
Yeah.
The rest of the fields are basically, you gotta understand, that was a soccer's pond, and that's what this whole thing started.
I get it. Like I said, I brought my tractor out.
And
Redid the whole field.
we have good intentions, we just, right now, you wouldn't want to do anything out there right now, until you just want.
Yeah, but it's not right now, it's baseball.
And I do, I understand.
You know, when it's
I
not,
understand.
or whether
And we
it's
got
not.
time frame we're looking at.
Yeah.
We will continue to work with this. What I see, and I think the council will agree with me, we've got a communication problem here. We've got and that communications can be perforated, and everybody needs to just get together and do the best. But like you just said the key word, this is for the kids, okay? This is not the town of Bronson, this is not BYU, this is the kids.
That's it, that's all we care about. We don't care about the money, we don't care about this, that, and the other. It's just, all
I
about
feel
kids.
for them all, you'll see my name on this right here.
Yes, sir.
Like I say, I do it, I'm just telling you that's just the way I am about it.
So just keep everything I said, everything everybody said in consideration, and, I mean, I don't know where it goes from here, but appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's it, huh?
Do we have anybody else?
I have one, if I could address one thing on equipment. May I?
Yes.
So NFHS, which is the accreditation I got for coaching at the high school, middle school, football last year, that is the standard on how equipment is to be maintained. Football helmets, because it is a combat sport, are required to be checked and signed off by inspection companies at least every 2 years. Recommended yearly, but at least 2 years. Now, I happened to got in and looked at our equipment about 5-6 weeks ago. June of 2018 is the last time those helmets were checked. And I have plenty of pictures, if you would like to see them. Yes, the guts right on. One of the things I do for a living is I'm a pipe welder and I'm a pipe coater. I deal with polymers. We fusion bond epoxy pipe. Polymers break down. Helmets sitting in boxes may look new, but they dry rot. We cracked 3 helmets last year. There's nothing else to be said. We don't have equipment. We didn't get equipment. And then when we hit numbers to get equipment, I called BSN, the rep, right before I went and met with them at 10 a.m. that morning. I even got an email from them because I got a price quote because I wanted to know what they were charging. We never received equipment. Parents paid up. I would say at this point, I'm not going to argue with y'all. I'm here to more or less spread some knowledge because, again, I had to take 19 kids to Chiefland. And they're going to play there. They're going to develop bonds with the kids that are already going to Chiefland. We had kids last year leave this school to play sports at other schools, Williston and Chiefland and Trenton and Newberry. If you don't fix this at this level, it doesn't matter what you do. I coached over there last year. The only middle school game we won, I coached. And I ain't saying it because of me, we won because of the kids. But I come from a football background. I'm from Alabama. We take football serious. Jesus, John Wayne, and football. That's the 3 things we do up there. We don't take it serious here. It seems like we don't care about A, winning, B, giving kids opportunity, C, for sure, definitely make sure they have good personal equipment safety. We had a kid last year on the high school team, got a broken brain, he had a concussion, fractured his skull, and he had a good helmet on. He had his Speed Flex helmet that had been reconditioned, still got injured. Why are we putting kids in helmets that haven't been checked since 2018 on the field to play a violent sport? I love football. Played it until I couldn't play anymore. Brother played Alabama. I get it. But if you don't put them in some kind of safety equipment, the main reason I refuse to stay here. We don't care about winning, and we sure didn't care about safety. I achieved all those goals at the next town over in 3 hours. Now, there'll be stuff said about me. I'm not worried about that. I'm comfortable with who I am and what I do. So if someone tells lies to me, I'm fine with it. But take yourselves and ask to go look at that equipment sitting in that building over there right now and tell me if you would put that helmet on your own body and go out on the field. And I guarantee you none of you can say yes.
He's got the key, he can go over there.
I do not have a key.
Sitting here, not here, heard of it. He played football, he can ride over there, go look at them all right now. And
Listen,
and show me them 3 broken helmets.
Nobody ever brought 3
First of all-
helmets that were broken.
First of all, you're not accredited where we can go and look at it. I play football myself, I'm born. Franklin and I had those. Just had one
I don't see Tyler.
Did we have it? We could run in. And I'm not being facetious or joking about the situation by no means. It's serious. Yes, I want the best I can for our children. We all do. It's not just me. We all do. It takes money. If we had Bronson, let's not go running with it. You know, we see that every day. We're sitting here talking about, if y'all really want to get into some real good fun, come to this budget meeting we're having here right now, trying to make ends meet. I'm not using that as an excuse by no means, okay? It's not. We just got to prioritize everything that we do. And putting money into the system comes from the volunteers that we have out there, and I appreciate each and every one of them, okay? And that's just keep moving forward is the only thing I say. The only thing I can help you with is just telling you that we will be supporting you and backing you any way we can. That's the only thing I can say. Okay? And because I'm speaking for this bunch behind this thing here, we all want what's best. We do want to win, okay? We do want to. But again, we have to look at it from a financial standpoint of view, because that's the only part we can control. Okay? I feel so much for that thing out there. Like I said, my family has been doing this for a long time to help with all this stuff, and I've got kids, I've got grandkids out there right now. I love to go out there. You'll go every afternoon about 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'll come strolling through out there. Sometimes I see things that I love to see. You know, I watch the soccer kids because my grandson's playing over there, I watch the baseball, David and them on the test out there. Every once in a while I see something I don't want to see, like a gentleman out there yesterday taking a bath at 6 o'clock. Yeah. Those are things we gotta take care of.
So you taking the bad.
It's
Out there,
It's always open for anybody to put a proposal together and come to the council if they have.
They want to take over.
It's, I mean, that's. And then
That's
I'll
one
for
for
you.
This might be something, I don't know, but is the BYS budget, is it, for all sports?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, is it evenly distributed for all sports?
Registrations come in, we buy uniforms, insurance, and whatever
I'm
other
just saying,
things
if
are
you
required,
raise
and that's it.
20,000, and you got 4 teams, or they get 5 apiece, that's what I
No,
mean.
the teams get what is needed, yeah, everything
I'm not
gets what
just
it
giving
needs
a
for the
dumbed down
season.
number, I just mean, is it
Is it
evenly
all
distributed?
Money don't come in like that. So each sport, when
Maybe
we
if
have
we knew where the
registration
money
for a
was going,
sport,
there'd be money to go in like that.
each kid,
Okay,
say it's
I want to interject here, okay?
Sorry.
As much as I would love to sit here all night and hear the pros and cons of this, this is a situation where y'all need to hash this and get you, go put your heads together and figure out how the best way to do this.
So
Come
come to the council meeting.
We're arguing, we moved the chief line, I'm trying to help y'all for next year.
And I understand that, and I appreciate what you're doing. And understand we are limited here to what we can do, and we're not here to bash anybody or to throw anybody in the bus or anything. We are limited in what we can do.
If there's a group of, I don't want to say disgruntled, but if there's a group of people who are willing or who are interested in taking anything over, there's always been, we've had proposals come before us before that people have backed out of. I mean, it's always open for anybody to come with a proposal coming from the council, get on the agenda for, they're interested in taking over.
They're also welcome to come be part of BYS and get voted onto the board and have an active role as a board member.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and on that football deal or whatever y'all talking about. Our kids, like the man saying, they leave here, have been doing that for a long time. Our football team, basketball team, I don't go out there, they don't beat nobody.
I'm gonna need you to take that back, because let's not go there. Let's not go there. And kids are leaving all schools, it's not just specific to our school. Because of the rule, kids are transferring and going all over the place. So it's not just, that's not specific to Bronson. And kids are coming back as well. So make sure if we're gonna tell the story, we tell the whole story.
Well, I don't joke over, so.
No, actually, you did.
Well, Bronson,
you
you
are.
not a big school.
Moving right along.
Why does school get even brought up when this has to do with Bronson youth sports?
Pardon?
Why does school keep getting brought up when this is Bronson youth sports over here at the park? I'm just asking a question. School has been brought up a couple times, and I thought we were talking about not school sports, but Bronson youth sports.
We are, but I think Matt's point was that, he coached with Bronson, and then he was like training up the 12 youth teams to go to Bronson, and I'm sure the other towns are doing the same thing. So if we're having to send our kids to another town, those towns are going to be trying to take those kids to play with their teams.
Okay.
Thank
We would ask that you continue to keep it in your thoughts that we are here for the children, and we want what's best for them. Continue doing the best you can. Volunteers are great, I'm telling you. So, and we will work with you any way that we physically and financially can.
Don't you have someone on the council that's over the park in rec? Oh, this should look good. Then, I guess you could call a meeting with all of them, go out and have mediation, talk, see what the problem is, get both sides, right? The pros and the cons, and
And for me, there's nothing to discuss. I was threatened to be shot. I mean, how that they even have a job is still amazing. So I'm gonna grab my stuff. I'm gonna head off. I got football practice and we're a championship.
And it's a lie.
And the officer did tell me to press
It is
charges
a
against
flat out
false
lie.
accusations.
I got a game
Slander,
coming up
it's
later.
salacious.
Thank
It's
you,
a
Mr.
fact.
Taylor.
No, it is not, sir.
That's why the
Fact
officer.
is,
Should we have
you're
the council
not
out?
Can we move forward?
Listen, you all need to set
Lay down
something.
stuff in here.
Let me have the council out. First of all, we probably shouldn't allow those two to come here because of pending investigation. Because you're inviting two people coming in the same place that had an altercation. It shouldn't have been here at the town until the sheriff's office have said, hey, child. Just listen at it. Because it's two hostile things going on, and you're inviting people coming into a public place. And one, I'm talking on behalf of the town, with this equipment, if they are in control of the equipment, then the town has no responsibility in it. And whatever problem with the equipment, like helmets, if they wasn't done since 2018, that's the last time I had them reconditioned.
Right.
Okay, but now, if they hadn't been used, that's okay, but.
That's what Schultz said when I called them.
So, we gotta be careful in how that we don't put ourselves, I'm talking about the town, in a place, in a position that BYS or any entity or kid get hurt, make sure those we don't have no football going on for Bronson, right? So nobody can come to Bronson and say they used the helmet because it's been established that there's something wrong with the helmets. So you gotta listen up to what people are saying, that even if they took helmets and they borrowed helmets from Bronson and they're gonna use those helmets in Chiefland, where those helmets came from.
I told them.
So y'all make sure you establish that there's nothing gonna be used from Bronson for the kids taking helmets and gonna be used in Chiefland.
They never even got distributed helmets.
Okay, I'm just saying.
None of the kids got helmets from Bronson at all.
Good night, we were planning to distribute whenever you
Here's what I
get
think.
First of all, we would have all had to know about this, that happened in order for us to say, well, they shouldn't be here at the same time in the same place. I had no clue that any of that happened, or I would have suggested that. That's one problem, that we did not get that information. So,
I passed it along to Sue.
I didn't get that information.
I was in a meeting.
Me and Sue had a meeting,
Well,
Sue
you
was
knew.
in there too.
Okay, but the rest of the council did not know.
And the
Just
law
like a
didn't
lot of things
come.
that the rest of the council does not get to know. And
The
that's
law
a problem.
didn't come and talk
It
with
seems
me
like
and
it's
dropped
wrong.
everything.
Major
and false accusations
Exactly.
and told me that I should press charges on him for false accusations like that.
Yes.
Okay, she did. Again, this is stuff that is not pertaining to what we're doing right now. So,
But the whole
And
council
this
should
should have
know
been.
about it.
Yeah, but it's just representation.
It shouldn't have been.
Not
got
here.
tired, I know what we do have, we got tired of too many people talking at one time. Okay, so if you need to talk, raise your hand. Okay, is that fair enough?
The whole town should have known about that, or the whole council should have known about that.
Okay.
Why won't you know? Why wouldn't they know, Mr. Mayor?
Hey. I'm telling you. This man back here is 18, had his hand up.
Okay, well, not me.
And you telling everybody else to be quiet, so you can talk. Okay? Take your time.
I'm sorry, I'm just saying, so none of this here has anything to do with BYS? You gotta deal with them directly?
Yes.
No, yeah, we appoint, we can, if you have somebody that's wanting to, we make the overall
I'm
decision.
new to travel, that's why I'm here today, you know, so get a hold of them, if I have an issue, don't bring it up with y'all.
No, you can call me anytime.
No, if you feel like you're not being heard, by all means, come to us.
That's why I'm here.
Because that's what we
I
need.
just,
But you're supposed to come to us first.
Come to us first.
We did go to
You
that.
are not
No,
approachable,
you did not.
like, y'all are not approachable on a lot of days, so I get it, like, I totally get it.
everybody's busy, I'm just
I
wondering.
get it that y'all are passionate about what y'all are doing with kids, but somebody else is gonna have to be that buffer to get in between a complaint and yourself if you cannot handle it. I mean, I get it, that there's a lot of passion in here, we're talking about our kids.
But if they came to the meetings, the planning meetings and stuff like that, it's not.
If
us,
this,
it's our whole board that they would
if this
talk.
man is driving his tractor down there to there, you need to get him to a meeting.
She has to come, I can't make her come.
I was busy going to practice 3-4 nights a week and doing all this.
That's awesome.
We haven't had a meeting.
I got two of y'all.
Okay. All right, Elijah.
You got my question. Why didn't Miss Virginia, if she got a point, why didn't the council know about it? I mean, she was just asking. She didn't know.
And I can answer that.
But she knew. But why didn't she tell you all?
Because I had
That's
a
why I'm
meeting,
saying you don't need her.
You would love to let her go.
because I had a meeting with Coach Shayla last week, and I had a meeting with David last week. Several members of the council did know, several of them didn't know. Mayor Parton knew because Coach Taylor also reached out to him after whatever happened last Monday. Tyler knew because he was in the meeting with me and David Lamb. So yes, several people did know about it, yes.
And I knew because parents told me. Yes. I knew, but I can't talk to them about it unless we're in a meeting together. So I did know. And I called her as soon as I found out about it and knew that we were gonna have a conversation with them. So, but I can't talk to them outside of the council meeting about what somebody else told me or what I know is going on, because the sunshine laws, I can only talk to them when it's a public
The
forum.
only person that can is Sue.
Yes.
Would you consider?
Oh, when is your next planning meeting?
So we were in the process of getting it. It was supposed to be coming next week with all the football stuff, but since they've gone, it will probably be whenever.
You still need to have a meeting period.
Yeah,
So
we will.
What was the date scheduled for your actual
It
planning?
was going to be, I think, the 17th or something like that, the Friday before that. But it's going to be now after our registrations end.
Which is when?
Now they're set for the 18th.
Yeah, we just extended them to the 18th.
You scheduled planning on Sunday?
No, not, whatever the Thursday before that is when they do that.
So that's the 15th?
Yeah.
So your planning meeting is scheduled for the 15th?
It was going to be, because we were having football. We would get everybody together, we could go over, you know, what was going on with them and what their plans for the future, as well as all the other sports at one time. We were going to be, we had a new commissioner for soccer, so we were going to be putting him in place. We had a new cheerleading commissioner, we were going to be putting her in place. But like I said, all this stuff happened with football, so we stopped, and we'll wait till the other sports start, and then we'll have.
No, because it still sounds like there's some stuff that needs to be
But yeah.
straightened up to make sure it happens. So if that meeting was already scheduled for the
If the
15th, I think.
registration ends on the 18th, then what is the Thursday after that? Then that would be the day that we
There's a
will have it.
22nd, I can't do that.
Then that would be the day that we will have it.
Curtis, the guy who's hand raised, he was
I'm
before me.
sorry.
Curtis.
Listen, and it's, the BYS gotta work with you, okay? Because what's happening, like, the situation that happened, they come to town hall, and there you have it. Come in, you know, they work with you, did a lot of this stuff that both sides are having, it gives you a chance to deal with it, and say, hey, when you come to council, say, council, I met with them, this is what's going on. But I'm gonna tell you, in trying to do things in the community, when people don't like what you're doing, they're not gonna show up. People gonna be fine as long as you're doing what they want you to do in the way they want you to do it. So that volunteer-based space is good when people are in agreement with you. But the moment that you have to do something that's contrary to what they want to do, even though what they may be asked to do you can't do, it causes problems. Anytime, because anything that you're doing based on volunteers is going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. Simply for the fact that when people want to go in the direction you're going, it's easy. But when you're not, it causes a problem. And then the town get involved with stuff that we shouldn't be in. I'm talking from the town. That we shouldn't be in it because we trying to decide or make a decision based on just the information of hostility.
So we gotta work together with the town and volunteers, like I told you when y'all first started. It's gonna be difficult when you don't have the vital pieces in place to do what needs to be done. Because it's gonna change every three to 5 years, leadership gonna change. You're gonna have a group of parents that gonna go with you, but once their kids are gone, they go.
Well, here's my recommendation. I think we need to have a public hearing, so once we can all talk to everybody, we can look at equipment, we can whatever. We can all get our facts together, and then we can come back here and discuss this.
I agree with that.
I recommend we do a public meeting on the 27th of September, or not August, I mean, Tuesday, after our next council meeting.
Ain't got no season there.
Who's gonna get the facts to those questions?
Tuesday, the 27th of this month, 2 weeks from tomorrow, the day after our council.
You ain't calling back, man.
I recommend it.
Day after a storm.
All of us, let's talk to people.
I think that we don't need to do that separately, because I think we all need to be hearing the same thing. So if we're gonna do a workshop or a public meeting, it needs to be, that's the only time that we're here, whatever we want to do. So I would ask that if we were gonna do that on the 27th, which by the way is a volleyball game, just so you know, we need to have not only that, but I need to see some financial stuff as well, because it should be a meeting out where all that's in. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying that if we do that on the 27th, we need to know who's the current board, who's interested in being on the board, is there a difference between a board member and like a commissioner over the sport, how it's set up, and then what the finances are, so we know if that equipment has not been conditioned since 2018 and kids are using it. If they used it last year, it needs to be reconditioned.
It was taken out of the
That's what I'm saying about getting our facts. If we can get that, in a week, and then we have time to study it, then we all come in here and know what's.
After this season, it would have to be reconditioned.
Right, if it
No,
was used this.
this equipment, that's what I'm saying, has it been reconditioned since 2018? Has that been done?
It's
No,
only
but
been
it
used
hasn't
one
been taken out of the
season.
box until last.
Which was
season.
when? Which was last year?
Yes.
It still should have been reconditioned before
We
then.
have
That's quite a few
No, we
years.
have,
They
you
came
have 2
directly out of the
seasons.
box.
You have 2 seasons.
So it's
after
been
they
sitting
come
in the
out of
box since 2018?
Yes.
And you don't think that it doesn't need to be?
We
Shuts
we
told us
did,
that
we
we didn't need
changed,
to.
we changed all the pads on the inside.
Yes, you did. But do you specialize in that? That's what I'm saying.
Shuts
We're-
told us we didn't need to. They told us if it came out of the box, we could use it for 2 seasons and then
And then we'd have to have.
So-
So that would be
Tuesday,
last
August
season,
27th.
this season, and then it would have to be
We
reconditioned.
couldn't use it again after this season without being reconditioned, so this season we could.
That day work for everybody.
I'll make it work. We can make that.
What time would work better for you? 5, 6, I mean.
6, please. He gets up, he'll be here by 6.
I make a motion, I didn't make a motion to that, right? Does it have to be on agenda item, then make a motion? I make a motion that we have a special meeting on August 27th at 6 p.m. regarding Bronson Youth Sports, open to the public as well, and that we get our information.
The question is, because it was raised, are you or are you not requiring, or at least requesting, that there be financial information provided in advance of the meeting?
Required.
Okay, so make that part of the motion.
Require any information that we request from, have it,
Well,
at least a week prior to the meeting.
Disclosure.
Financial and
Financial
equipment.
and equipment.
Okay, all right, that's close enough.
Yeah.
And that's August the 27th?
Yes.
At 6 o'clock.
P.M. Here?
Here.
Here.
You need to advertise that?
Yeah.
Yes, because there's
That's
more
why-
of us.
If they put it in the thing tomorrow, that gives us 2 weeks.
No, hold on.
what day is it? That's the next thing?
No, yeah, we have time to advertise it, I just have to get it in by, like, Thursday.
Maybe, yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, we can.
All right,
That's my motion.
we have a motion. Is there a second?
It is.
Brandon, second, okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same motion carries. We will have a workshop on August the 27th at 6 p.m. here concerning the BYU and the equipment, BYS.
Do you want this stuff from us, the equipment that we bought, that they have requested? A listing of it, yes.
All right?
At least a couple of days prior, please. So I have time to look at everything.
Yes?
Do you guys have accounts for all the things that you provided?
Yes, I have for the past, since me and Sue started in 2021, David and Angela will call us if they need equipment, and then we order it. So I have a list.
So just to be clear, you guys want a list of all our cones and our flag football tags and all of that stuff?
Well, you should have an inventory on, for that stuff anyway.
For
So
the
that you
most
know what
part,
you have and what you need to buy.
Some things don't come, well, see, that's the thing, most of it comes back and we just put it back in. Some things don't come back and we've had to mark it off, so we'll just go back.
Put your inventory together the best you can. Okay? All right, informational items. Primary election is Tuesday, August the 20th, 2024. B, what time does that start? What time does that start? 7 to 7?
Yes.
Okay.
But we're there every day through
Right.
this Saturday from 8 to 5.
Early is going on now.
Yes, really.
From 8, you said 8 to 5?
8 to 5.
North Florida
Through
Transportation Planning Summit is Thursday, August 22nd at 9:30 a.m.
Yes.
Okay.
From there, they go to
Local Session Water and Wastewater Cooperative Board meeting is Thursday, August 22nd
our football
at
team.
1 p.m. here.
That's something else.
So,
They think they're from one of our games, because
When they have these meetings, or when you go to these meetings, can we get like the agenda or minutes or something? Or do you know, because I know like what you do with the county commission, you write on the stuff and you have, so we can get.
That's where it starts is.
Yes.
They're all on the website too.
Well, it makes it easier for us to have a better idea of what happens when these meetings.
Most of these kids, when they go to high school, they
And,
don't know.
can everybody attend this one?
Since it's advertised.
yes, you can take it anywhere.
Which one? North Florida, the transit, thing?
No, I'm talking about.
The wastewater.
No, I think all of those have been advertised. At least on the
All of
page.
them. All of them are advertised for everybody.
Yeah.
Red, Mighty Food Bank, is food drive is Friday, August 23rd at 9:30 a.m. Our fourth budget workshop is Monday, August the 26th at 5 p.m. here. Our next town council meeting is Monday, August the 26th, also at 6 p.m. here. Code enforcement meeting is Wednesday, August the 28th, 5 p.m. here. What is Koozie?
Okay, so Koozie is the new utility billing software that we're going to. So we're going to be doing 2 training sessions, one on Wednesday, September 4th at 6 o'clock here. So we want to do a night meeting, and then we're going to do one on weekends, that one Saturday, September 14th at 10 a.m., and we'll put stickers on the next bills also. But it's to teach people how to set up their account, schedule automatic payment plan, all that kind of stuff.
All right, what Sue is elaborating on is we have changed our billing system for our water and sewer billings that you will be receiving. Okay?
Will you send this out on the text, so everybody, that way you might have some
It's
people.
also going to be, it's also in the newsletter, but I'll send a text.
Have you already finished the newsletter?
Kelly's designing it right now.
Okay.
It has 24
For some reason, people miss the memo on how to sign up to make sure that you get the text messages. Can you put a little something in there and that? Because after the messages about the boil water notice, I kept getting phone calls like, well, how do we get these messages? And I'm like, well, you had to sign up for it. They told you that. So, but we may want to send that out again because a lot of people are not getting the text messages because they didn't sign up to get messages. I know, it's the same thing with Scoured.
It's already in there. There's one on the fact that they need to sign up with the town of Bronson and with Lincoln County.
Okay,
It's
that
direct,
works.
it's with a version.
With the cookie training, is somebody else doing the training?
Kelly, Ian Kelly will be there.
Okay, so can you record it?
It's a PowerPoint.
Okay.
It's a PowerPoint, yeah.
Okay, good. Because I know somebody's gonna wanna know how.
This is just, all this is just general information for you to understand how this program works and how it is going to affect us.
And how to sign up for it too.
Yeah.
There's some really cool things. Number one, auto pay is enormous. I mean, people are gonna be able to set it and forget it and not have to pay it online anymore, or call it in. And we're also gonna have a dedicated, I don't know if it's a 352 or a 1-800 number, where you can call in and make the payment automated. You don't have to talk to Kelly or talk to anybody. It just goes through the machine.
It's like what Central Florida does.
Yeah.
Central Florida is 3%.
Call center. To do a credit card, yes. So, yeah.
Then it tells you, but like, I know the thing at Central Florida will tell you that before you do it, it costs such and such.
But it's legitimately that, it's an automated, real call center.
Okay, next up is the homecoming parade is Thursday, October the 24th at 5 p.m. The parade route.
We already did that.
Are we doing that?
I did. Did you?
Are we being in the parade? Yes or no?
Just last year.
Always there. All right, beautiful. Just come up with something.
I got a 4-seater buggy, and I'll ride on that, so we're running last year.
Don't be all night. Anything but a bullet. Can't be distracted. All right. Beautiful Bronson Day, number 7, is Saturday, October the 26th, 10 a.m. That also is over behind the city hall.
That is at the Jim Milton Cemetery.
Jim Milton
Again,
Cemetery.
is everybody okay with that date? I put that 10, is everybody okay with that date?
That's a lot of stuff that week.
I know.
I already told you that's my birthday.
That's
It
hunting
won't
season.
be at all.
That's hunting season.
That's the way we all do.
We're doing the cemetery again.
That's the last.
There's no other weekend we could do that?
You guys tell me. There's no other-
Halloween weekend sounds great. Is that just cleaning up the cemetery?
Yes.
Okay.
If you do it on November 2nd, I definitely have it. That's over the weekend of general gun season in Georgia, so that's right for me. No.
It doesn't
I
matter
won't
to me.
be there.
Oh, you won't be there? Okay.
Can we look at our
And
calendars? and
November
then come
2nd,
back?
Day of the Dead, that would kind of make sense.
Oh, because you gotta put it on the
I'm trying to
thing.
get the newsletter out, that's right. So you can't be there on the 26th?
On 26th, I could be there, yeah.
You can't be there on the
It's
26th?
my birthday weekend.
You know I'm going out of town, so
You're
I
going
ain't
out,
gonna be
okay.
there.
I'll be there on Beach Square. Like the rest of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all ever do that at the park? I've just never heard of that.
I haven't yet.
Beautify Bronson.
Oh, yeah.
First,
That, like the first or second one was at the park.
Yeah, yeah.
The very first one.
we did the
Yeah.
streets.
We did one.
First 2 or 3 we did.
3 were streets, 2 was library, and then 2 for the cemetery.
First 3 we like road, picked up a lot of trash on the roads.
We did a workout there one day when we replaced Curtis. Refresh my memory on this now.
At the park,
This will be
we
70 years.
replaced all the bleachers.
Bleachers, did clean up,
But that wasn't the first
paint
thing.
the thing, fix the
How
fence.
long ago was that?
A year and a half.
About that
Last year.
same days that we were gonna do the trees.
Potentially. We haven't solidified that either.
That might be something.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so if we were going to do the Beautify Bronson, even though it does focus on the cemetery, in their way to put it in prior to the homecoming, so that way the at least the businesses can go out, make sure the front of the areas are clean.
It's not a bad idea.
instead of doing it after the homecoming.
Well, the Beautify Bronson Day
Yeah,
isn't
it's-
have anything to do with Bronson, that's just cleaning up the cemetery.
It's just a group
Right,
of us
it's clean,
volunteers.
right, it's clean up cemeteries, we went out there and done that.
Uh-huh.
But I'm saying if you get it put out enough and say it's Beautify Bronson,
Yeah.
then we have the homecoming, they do it prior to the homecoming parade.
He's saying ask the businesses prior to the homecoming
To say-
parade, because the other towns come for it. Could everybody make sure everything's
To
cleaned
say,
up?
go out,
and
look
beautify
at your,
Bronson?
go out, look at your business and make sure it's cleaned up, because we are gonna have this. I mean, even if it gets dropped in the weekend prior, you know,
So what is it?
No, let me figure out what weekend we're going for in October. I'm going for a week sometime.
It's really too much of I'm on vacation, you guys are on vacation.
We have plenty of birthday coming up.
October. We could do September,
Too
Right?
okay?
hot.
It was hot in May.
September,
We got a month in September.
We have a lot of meetings.
So I was like, do you want to do it because that's before budget?
And we don't have a lot in October technically, meetings and all that.
Rolling on November.
November, the Veterans Day weekend is coming when, so you're gonna be missing some people.
yeah.
First of the year.
The first of the year?
Well, yeah, we gonna have Thanksgiving, you got all the things in November, you got Christmas, you got the movie at the park in Christmas, and December, we got a lot of things coming up.
What day is homecoming?
Homecoming is the week of the 21st. So the actual parade is on the 24th and the game is on Friday the 25th.
I'm sorry, of what month?
October, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
What about the 19th, that Saturday prior?
October,
Yeah.
that's fine, I'm trying to figure out what weeks I'm gonna be on right now.
Are you good on the 19th?
Appreciate all your time. Thank you. Gotta go pick the kids up football.
I don't know, trying to figure out what weeks I'm going through right now.
Is the 19th better for you guys?
It's better.
Do you want vacation?
Yeah,
Do we want-
we can do it the 29th, or not the 29th, the 19th.
Do we want to change it to the park or do we want to stay in the cemetery? Because we don't know if they're going to be done with the fences.
We
Somebody,
definitely will finish it, so it'll be done.
I mean, you know it's another storm in the water, right?
Yeah, we don't, they're supposed to take a good old Utah.
Yeah.
All right, we change it to the 19th,
19th, we'll do 19th. We'll change it to
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
It's 10:19.
10:19.
Yes.
Okay.
We still got birthdays then.
So are we still doing trunk or treat on the 26th? Because that's how I hear.
I haven't heard back from Vicki yet.
None of the
she's having
churches
a hard
except
time.
one. I will say this, and I mean, last event, this event, every church in the town of Bronson and outside of town of Bronson was contacted. We called them, we have sent emails, we have left messages. Vicki has gone on her off days and actually worked to contact them. One church has contacted us back. So
We
I
probably
said-
need to talk to that ringleader, so.
Well, and that's because I know Virginia has said, I need all the churches contacted.
Yes.
All the churches are being contacted. They're not responding, they will not call us back.
We need to make sure that we don't have the issue we had last year, so that was.
So if we have it on the 25th or the 26th, we won't have that.
No, do y'all send letters or do y'all just call?
We call, she goes, she emails, she goes during church service, she will go on her own time on a Wednesday or on a Sunday to go and speak with somebody. Like I legitimately have, yeah, she has gone out of her way. She talked to, I don't know if she called your church yet.
She doesn't, because if she called me the last one, I know I have to talk to her.
Okay. There maybe not be some that she hasn't contacted for all of them, but I know she contacted
everybody last time.
Well, we would just support it, so my issue,
Yeah.
the issue before mainly was two things. One, that everybody's invited to support it, and two, that it isn't like a dueling thing that doesn't turn into an issue. But if they haven't set their date or they haven't decided yet, which that's the same problem we ran into last year. So I don't know if what I would ask is that she reach out and say, look, we need y'all to say that this is the date and that this is what we're gonna go with and we wanna include everybody. Or, don't come back at us with, hey, y'all set a date on our date, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, I just think there needs to be some kind of understanding. It's the same thing where Sunday, they had the prayer walk for the schools, and ours was very not so well advertised. And so that would have been, it turned out to be much bigger in other areas, and it was only a handful of people because of the way it was advertised.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing about it, I seen it on Facebook today.
And that was Sunday.
I was wondering why
Right.
nobody was invited.
And that was Sunday, and that was because of the way it was advertised.
Okay. All right, last on the informational items is Town of Bronson welcomes Fernando. You want to say that, Rashford?
If you want to.
Right? Are you on?
How you say that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Say it again?
Arjona.
Okay.
The J sounds like me.
You got a roll.
What does the other
Say it right.
Okay, and he is our new inmate supervisor?
Sorry, sir.
Yes, start on first.
Curtis, when is he scheduled for a school?
Probably after the election, waiting on,
Yeah.
Brian Gordon.
Okay. All right, Sue, you have next.
Okay, so first on the agenda is the first reading of ordinance 24-04. I'm going to read the title to the record. An ordinance authorizing the adoption of small-scale future land use amendment from single-family residence to commercial and rezoning of parcel number 034-580000, which is 945 East Hathaway Avenue, from R1, which is single-family residential, to C1 commercial, including evacuate.
This is the one we already talked about, right?
This is the one we had a public hearing on, and you guys saw it first as the planning board. Now you're seeing it as the town council for the first time.
All right. Pleasure of the council.
We don't need to do anything for the first reading. This is just to put
We have
it
to adopt
on.
that first.
Yeah, you need to.
Make a motion.
Or not.
Make a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 24-04.
I second.
All right. We have a motion and a second to adopt the reading of the ordinance 24-04. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries.
Alright, next is resolution 24-10. This is regarding delinquent utility payment at 261 Pop Street. Just to let you know, this is the second time that we will be placing a lien at 261 Pop Street for delinquent utility payments. And right now, he owes us $441. Nathan Comstock.
And the object of the resolution is to make it a lien, record it. Right?
But it's off and everything is,
So the way it works is, once it's liened, just like last time, the account's closed, it no longer accrues any minimums. In order for him to get reinstated, he has to pay the full 441, and he has to give us another $300 for 100 for water, 100 for trash, 100 for sewer. So it was 741, correct, so start back up again.
Make a motion to accept resolution 24-10.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries.
He got a certified letter, whatever, for this.
That's homicide.
Nathan Comstock, yes. Okay, next is resolution 24-11. This is a schedule of equipment number 1 dated 7/25/24. to master equipment lease purchase agreement dated 7/25/24 between Community First National Bank as leaseor and Town of Bronson as lessee. So I'll go ahead and go through this a little bit. So as you may recall, last year we leased the fire truck for the new pumper for 10 years in the amount of $344,000. Thus far, we've made 2 payments, one June of last year and one June of this year in the amount of $42,147.40. This year, we're purchasing the quick response truck from Big Ben Chevrolet in the amount of $63,333.50 and purchasing the accessories for the quick response vehicle from Southeastern Upfitters in the amount of $32,382. We will be receiving a grant, we just have to finish it with USDA for 35% of that total amount, so that will be $33,500.43. We'll have 8 remaining payments, so what we're planning on doing is we're going to be taking the amount that we're financing and add it on to the additional 8 payments that we have remaining. So the additional 8 payments will go from the $42,147 to $52,925.
Which we initially had allocated 50,000 total, right?
We originally had said they would be 50,000, give or take, so we're about 3,000 higher. And again, it's probably because when we originally started talking about it, we were thinking that we were gonna have 9 payments to do it, but because now we only have 8 payments, it just goes up a little bit more. So they need this resolution in order to get everything taken care of for the lease.
All right. Pleasure of the council.
I looked at the resolution. It's overbroad bank stuff, but it's difficult and it's harmless, except for the money.
Everything is going up.
Make a motion to accept resolution 24-11.
Motion and second. Accept resolution 24-11. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Are we gonna be able to get rid of any, or get anything off of the stuff that we won't no longer be using?
No, there's nothing on the current truck we use for med calls that will go into.
No, I mean, like, we set up the scrap, what do we do with that?
No, my thoughts, and briefly discussed it with Sue at once, and Jeff, probably give him that truck as the cheapest truck. Use this truck. I mean, we could sell it for probably $1,000, but it's got 150,000 miles on it, it's 2006.
I mean, is it something he could ride around in as a cheap truck? Or is it,
Something he can respond, have at the house, so he can, if there's a bad structure fire in the middle of the night or something, he can respond to it in that truck.
and not be broke down inside the road or something? Well, that's what. That was my question, is it something that?
It's a good truck to have and not have to use it every single day, running 6 or 10 calls a day. It's beyond its realm for that. It's wore out.
No, that was just a general question.
I think we did.
Did you vote on it?
Yes, we did.
Okay, next up is fiscal year 2023-24 Resilient Florida Planning Grant, Comprehensive Vulnerability Assessment. And I apologize because John Petrovich from Midtown Associates was supposed to be here today, but he didn't get better. So let me just kind of give you the rundown here. So the town applied for a $100,000 grant from DEP for a comprehensive vulnerability assessment. Last year, the grant was actually written by Andrew Green of Florida Rural Water Association. The assessment is going to pinpoint areas at risk from climate-related hazards, so flooding, drainage, that kind of thing, and then give us some sort of plan to address these concerns. When the assessment is done, the town can apply for an implementation grant to fund a project that will mitigate the risks. So there's 8 different tasks associated with this $100,000 grant. Task 1 is to identify vulnerability assessment data standards. Task 2 is a kickoff meeting. Task 3 is public outreach. Task 4 is to acquire background data. Task 5, exposure analysis. Task 6, sensitivity analysis. Task 7, final vulnerability assessment, maps and tables. And Task 8 is a public presentation. So The reason it's coming before the council is we actually need your, need to vote on it. And then the project obviously did start now and it has to be completed by March 31st of 2026. We've got a little less than 2 years to get things out. So again, this was something that Andrew wrote for us, and basically it's $100,000 to go directly to the tower.
To do this study?
To do this study. Since they're already doing it.
So the motion just needs to be accepted, to accept the grant.
I make a motion to accept the grant for the Resilient Florida Planning Grant.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the grant, this is the Florida Planning Grant. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign.
All right, next up, Hurricane Loss Mitigation Program HLMP grant application. So this is something that I've been working on with Shannon Williams. She's the person that we are working with to write our grants now, and she's also working with the Wausausa. So this grant was due last month, and it is to replace the roof of the library, which is 30-something years old. And as you know, we've got issues with water leaks there. We had to mitigate mold, which cost us approximately $12,000. So she wrote this grant application in the amount of $50,000 to replace the roof. The new roof would be built to protect the structure against a 100-year storm event and 100-mile-per-hour winds. Sorry, 180. Sorry, 180.
Baby shingles.
Another metal. Yep.
That's good.
So we got a quote from True Force Roofing. I don't know if anybody's familiar with them, but I met some of the people that work there, as well as the owner at one of the Williston Chamber of Commerce meetings. And the quote that they gave us was for $35,709. Again, we kind of put the $50,000 in there because, as you may recall, we got quotes a couple years ago when we did this, and they were astronomical. So theirs was much more beneficial for us. But also, this is to have Shannon be the grant writer, because that's how she's going to make the money, is she's doing it as part of the grant application. So again, this is already on off. We are hoping that we're going to get this grant, because it would be wonderful for our library. So
Does
just
this quote include like the cleanup of the materials and all that?
I think so, yeah.
They were
Yeah. And you can look through the whole thing's in here. It's very itemized. They wrote everything down.
Once we get accepted the grant, then we'll go out and bid that.
Oh, correct. This was just to give us an
Yeah.
idea, because the quotes that we got last time were, I think, 2 years old, is that right?
Oh, yeah, at least.
Yeah, they were
That's when
2022.
we first started talking about the library, so.
Right. Yeah, and they were really high. As you remember, they were like $100 and something thousand, but that was to do everything. That was to do like the shingle or the exterior. Remember, it was kind of everything. So I just wanted just the roof, so she had kind of an idea as to what to do. Yes, but we would have to bid it out, of course. This is more than $25,000. So, again, this is just FYI, just to let you know this is something we've already applied for. The book's already in there. It's got all the information. It's got their DVPR license. It's got their insurance, their work comp, their general liability.
That's not like terrible price, they got a lot of facial boards they got to replace too.
No, I thought that was a pretty decent quote. I mean, for a metal roof. It's 2,800 square feet, I think the library is, 28 something. So 2,884, and it's 2,900 square feet. So, anyway. Just FYI, just wanted to really apply for that grant. All right, next up is the BMAP remediation plan for Midtown Associates. Again, this is just another one of these FYIs. So as you may recall, the town of Bronson is in a BMAP. It's in the Silver Springs and Rainbow River BMAP. And the state of Florida enacted legislation that requires any municipalities that are located in a BMAP to develop a wastewater treatment plan and or an on-site sewage treatment and disposal system remediation plan. So basically, how are you going to get your residents off of septic and onto sewer? So just a little bit, again, kind of backstory here. In 2002, the wastewater treatment plant was designed to treat 83,000 gallons per day of domestic wastewater, our current flow is 30,000. So we are not even half of what we could. Right now, we've got 205 sewer connections. There are approximately 412 parcels on septic that we would need to have some sort of a plan for. Of course, we're going to continue to apply for funding to expand the collection in the hopes of phasing out all or nearly all septic tanks within the next decade. And again, we've got 2 grants that we've already applied for. $12 million grant to expand and upgrade the wastewater treatment plant facility. And then I think it was an $18 to $20 million grant to convert the remaining septic tanks to sewer. If something comes down, if anybody is located in that VMAP and we don't convert them over to sewer, they're going to be required to get that bigger, better.
Well, that actually goes into effect for everybody by 2030. Yeah, even if you already have one, by 2030, if you're on less than 1 acre or less, you got to put in the new system. They start at 12,000 and go up to 20. And the average has been 15 to 18,000.
But if you got more than 1 acre, you don't have to.
If you got 1.01 acre, you don't have to do it. But 1 acre or less, you have to do it.
And they have to be inspected every year.
Yeah, and they trying to change it to 2 inspections a year.
Yeah, and I think the inspection is 200.
I think it was 260 if I'm not wrong.
Something like that. So here's the difference. We used to have Department of Health down here looking after that. That'll be handled through DEP.
I might have more information for you in the next couple of weeks. I know I'm on a committee with the state and they are talking about assistance to help people switch over. They're talking about half the cost, but like I told them, most people around here can't afford $1,000 to replace, go towards replacing a drain field. So 50% of 15,000 is still not going to be doable. And my concern is, especially here, you got a lot of elderly people and they don't have the money to convert, or like right now, if their septic fails, you got to upgrade it to the new system. And my concern is if they don't have the money to afford to do it, then the health department can come in and say they're living in unsanitary conditions and force them out of their house. So it's major, like we need to be applying everywhere trying to find money to expand our sewer system because it's not going to be good.
It's coming.
It's already here.
I think that also needs to be more public knowledge as well, because not everybody knows and understands that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get that letter that says, hey, you got to convert, it's kind of like, well, nobody told me that.
All right.
All right, next up is FMIT health renewal. So as you know, we're on pins and needles waiting for FMIT to give us the news. So the increase for health insurance is 5%. Monthly premiums are going to increase from $991.16 to $1,040.72. No increase for dental, life, or vision insurance.
We was expecting like 10, didn't you say?
I was planning for 10 because when I went to that insurance conference back in April, they did a lot of talking about GLP-1 medications, all these Ozempic and all these drugs that everybody's taking for weight loss. And they were saying because they're so expensive, they're like $1,500 a month, and they're having to cover a lot of these, that's why they were thinking about raising the price rates. So scaring us, I guess. So yeah, 5% was definitely better than what we were thinking. All right, next up is Town of Bronson special events application. So in your packet, there is an application that, well, you'll see what we currently use versus what we kind of put together. This kind of came up, I think, from the whole B. Jones thing. Right now, we have 2 very small applications. One's a facility use application. It's got 7 little kind of bullets on here, and then a deposit for the park, which is $50 to rent a park for a birthday party or whatever. The city of Williston actually has I think it's a 4-page application. So it's a little more in-depth in terms of asking for things like insurance and, they're going to be doing fireworks and they need livestock and yeah, 4-page. I liked theirs, and if you guys would like to use theirs, I I'm certainly happy to. If not, we can continue to use the ones we have. It's just, it's not real inclusive. And I worry about specifically insurance. I mean, if somebody, you know, is holding a big event out there and something happens, you know, how liable is the town?
That won't, that won't pertain like somebody wanting to use the park for like a birthday party?
No.
Okay. Just big events?
No, it would.
So,
This
so
is any
be-
special event.
so because somebody had an event to give things away, that's what sparked this up?
I think we were originally talking about this because of that, but. I mean,
Because
just in general.
originally he wanted bounce houses and water parks. And if somebody gets hurt out there at the park before bounce house, they can turn around and sue the city. So.
I don't think he had insurance, right?
No, he did.
He did.
Yeah, he got it. 'Cause
He could have provided insurance at any time he asked.
Oh, no, we didn't. He had
Oh,
it
okay.
in. He just canceled it because of the hurricane, and then he decided not to do the stuff afterwards. He just did the giveaway. Yeah, no, he turned everything in and gave the fee.
How expensive is the insurance?
Event
Like a one
insurance?
event?
Single day event?
About 300 there. I've seen it around $200 to $300.
I just wouldn't want the insurance to be a reason why somebody doesn't have.
No, I like they just ask a lot more questions like, are you gonna need power? You know, are you gonna need police services? I mean, it's just a little more inclusive.
Well, that's actually, back when I rented the park for my daughter and my nephew, that's back when, Mr. Schuler was, I think he was the mayor then. Their application was like that. It asked did you need power, because I rented the park, and I had to have power. But we didn't have to have insurance, but it did.
This is just asking if you have insurance, not requiring it?
Are you
No,
requiring?
it says it's required on the
This is
paper.
required.
Are you gonna require it if somebody wants to have a birthday party that they have?
I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there for conversation, that's all. I mean, this is what Wilson uses, we don't have to. I just asked them for an example. We can continue to use the forms we've got.
We can use it to tweak theirs if we want.
We can.
Thomas was trying.
I remember in the past, I think it was like, if it was over a certain capacity, but the way that most municipalities do it is, you have your liability coverage, and then you can sell somebody a policy up under your umbrella to have the event at the park, and it's more reasonable. It's like probably like $125. But usually you add it on under your policy as an event.
Didn't y'all used to do the same
That's
thing
what we
with,
used to do here.
with the NAACP?
Yes.
They gave out that type of stuff?
Yes.
I remember that.
But you just buy, you buy the policy up under the city's policy.
I hate,
Maybe we
I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate that this came up right now. Like, I really hate that this came up right now, because, that was something that was very positive. And I would hate to see it cut out because of unnecessary fees that.
Well, we've had people in the past call to do big events at the park, and we've asked them to do it. So it wasn't
just for him.
No, it wasn't Jones. It was just finally got robbed because we're having more and more people. So for the past 3 years we've had, since Sue's been here, we've had people call and want to do big events, and we have them do a liability insurance for the day.
You have to define what a big event is, a certain capacity, like.
I think it's
So
numbers,
we know
because
the
over
difference.
a certain number, don't you even have to have security or so many police officers?
When I say a big event, when people are, once people start talking to me, and I have, this is me personally, I guess I think I would, when people start talking about they want inflatable water rides and they want those kind of things that you're gonna have a higher chance of somebody getting hurt, is when I have said you may need to provide insurance for that. And I've done that since I've gotten here.
That's the only thing I can see that I think you need to set a difference in between a birthday party and a big.
Yeah, I've never.
You should say if you're bringing in additional things other than what's already at the park.
Right at the park.
Like if you're bringing in other toys or other things that's
or
not
vendors
already in
and
the
that
park,
kind of stuff, yeah.
then you do it. But as citizens, we should be covered just to go use the park. You could get hurt on the swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, amen.
We've never made somebody turn in insurance for if they're having a birthday party.
That would be my request, is that we were gonna add something to it, and it needs to be a difference, so that it's not like your judgment on whether this is a big event, this is gonna require X, Y, and Z, so therefore you have to have this. This doesn't require that, so you don't have to have this. So I think that needs to be clearly stated, so there is no, I think you could, you might need to, you might not need to. Here in black and white, you're gonna have over 500 people, you need this insurance. You're gonna have over this, you need that. That's what I would like to see added, is if we were gonna make sure there's a difference between, what they need and what they don't.
Okay, so you would want insurance if it's a large event, so define it by like a number of people? Is that what you're thinking?
Or what I think what they were bringing on, what they were planning on having out there.
You might want to consider asking the insurance company.
Yes.
How they would suggest handling that situation.
Or how they would define
Because
it.
they're the ones that are in the middle of it if something happens.
Okay, so reach out to insurance companies, okay. I can do that. I mean, you like the form in general, you're just concerned about the insurance as your main concern, right?
Yeah, somebody having 15 people out there for a birthday party, don't need to have insurance, but if you're gonna have 150 or 200 people out there for a get together that's got water slides and a hayride and
Possible skydiving.
then you probably need to have it.
So I'll reach out to my team and bring that back. Okay. And then the last thing was, I think, Councilor Schuler, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Schuler brought this up at the last meeting, if I'm not mistaken. This was regarding the exit interview questions for when somebody separates from the town. I did a little research on like Indeed and SHRM, Society for Human Resource Management, came up with a list of questions in here. There's 10 questions that we would ask anytime somebody is leaving the town.
What page, where's that?
Kind of toward the end, the last, like,
Scroll, I don't.
this much.
It's before the email from, Jerry.
Scroll right past it the first 3 times.
So it
Would
says
that
town
be
wants to
required?
review questions.
Would that be required of the person that's exiting? Maybe they don't want to give an interview.
Well, it's actually, believe it or not, it's actually in our employee handbook.
Yeah,
It's in our employee handbook.
Let's do that.
I just don't think we've been doing them. So I'll just read some of the questions I came up with. And again, I'm open to suggestions if you have any questions.
You can't force this upon anyone.
But yeah, if they say no, they say no.
Right,
But
that's-
Once they gone anyway. I mean, we're just asking them to.
Insight.
Yeah, like, answer these questions.
So it says, we would
You can just-
appreciate your candid answers to the
Yes.
following questions. Your individual responses are treated as confidential and will not become part of your personnel file. Results will be aggregated with responses from other employees before being disclosed to town leadership. We believe that your feedback is of vital importance and will assist the town in analyzing our employee retention and turnover. Thank you for your cooperation. So what prompted you to seek alternative employment? Do you feel that your manager supported your success? What did you like most about your job with the town? What did you like least about your job with the town? How did compensation and benefits affect your decision to leave? Do you feel valued and recognized within the town? What suggestions do you have for the town? What factors could have influenced your decision to leave or stay with the town? As a place to work, would you recommend the town to a friend? Why or why not? And did you share any of your concerns we discussed today with the town before deciding to leave?
Now, let me ask you one more thing, if I can. If a person did leave and they decided not to do the exit interview, would it hinder their benefits, what they're gonna get? You know, just say I'm entitled to my sick leave or what? Okay.
No, this is just meant to help us understand why people are leaving.
Okay, I understand
Is it
that
for
part.
salary? Is it
Wondering.
And they do it just like, I just switched over my internet from AT&T to the Wi-Fi. So probably like 3 days after, yes ma'am, I called and disconnected my AT&T. Probably about 3 or 4 days after that, they sent me a survey and they were like, well, did you move? And I'm like, well, actually they called me first. And it was like, I'm kind of in the middle of something, I don't have time for a 20-minute survey. So then they email you and it's like, you know, did you move? What led to your reason? And I think it's just them gathering their own stuff. So I could have just deleted it. You don't.
When I was at Shands, we would have, when I was at Shands and when I transitioned to a different department, ours was by email, and the managers would try to do them sometimes, and we could tell them yes or no if we wanted to. But it works really well through email because then people have a tendency to be more honest.
We could do that too.
Or have
I
just
have
like council would do.
an account online, and I just told him to turn it off. I'm sorry, he asked me a side.
Oh, no, I was just saying that it might be easier for the council if somebody decided to call on council, if you guys didn't decide to do that.
All right, that's satisfactory with everybody?
I felt like the first question and the third from the bottom question is kind of like the same.
What prompted you to seek alternative employment and what factors could have influenced your decision to leave or stay? So get rid of.
It might just be me, but I feel like that's the same question.
Up to you guys. Which one would you want to get rid of?
The first one.
All right. Is that everything you got?
That's it.
Curtis, come talk to us about it.
First thing on the list is the bucket truck. When I looked at one in Wildwood, which I think personally is a little too big for what we would use it for. When I looked at one last Friday in Monticello, which is more in line with what we could use. I talked to Jerry, I had some concerns about the ABS light and the air light. And he's gonna get back with me probably tomorrow, let me know what my concerns, answer my concerns about the bucket truck.
Which one is that on the listing? Is that the 12?
That would be the,
It's a 2012, and then you have a 2008.
So the 2012 is the 3645 bucket truck with 156,000 miles and it's 13,000. Those are the first pictures.
What happened to the, so the
Well, because that one was bigger, like Curtis said, when you went to see that one, that one's a 2008 International 4300 with only 35,000 miles and 1,074 hours for 15,000, but it requires stiff legs and CDL, and there's concern that when we use it, that we have to close more lanes on 27 if we're going to put out.
other truck, the outriggers, possibility of when the outriggers come out, that it will be in the other lane. Which I have a safety concern when looking at the truck and watching it, that even though some of our lights are not that high, so that it would be the elbow is swinging to the lights, the elbow could be out in the lane.
Traffic is a boom.
So, and also, the CDL issue. Even the one in Monticello, we have one person that has a CDL.
and that's on both of them, right?
Yeah, that's both of them. But the one in Wildwood wasn't the one that wasn't in line with what we need, but the one in Monticello is the one that pretty much is like that one that we have, other than the air brakes.
Is that what requires the CDL?
Air brakes, they require CDLs also. Like I said, we have one person that has a CDL. That's a concern.
Who is that?
Celeste.
Celeste? Oh, all right, girl.
It's only as good as she was here. So.
And Jeff has a CDL also.
But if I had to pick between the two, it would be the one in Monticello. Based on the size of it and what we would use it for. The one with the outriggers, that's mostly for when you're going to be sitting in one spot, put the outriggers out to work on the light pole, stuff like that. But what we would be doing, using it for putting up lights, taking down lights, putting up flags, taking down flags. You kind of need, you don't need to be in one spot too long. So we need something that's more movable.
42 foot's still pretty good.
This is the 20.
So,
42 foot reach is probably higher than we'll ever need to go really
well,
anyway.
yeah,
It says that it needs some work, but what's?
well, I had a concern with the ABS brake
Oh,
light
you said that, you
was on,
said that.
and the guy, he's having the mechanic look into it and see what's going on with it. They did tell me the truck just come from, because before they put them out, they have them inspected, so
Is that the only thing, the ABS?
the ABS and then the air light. I talked to him about the airbag light that was on. And he said that probably let it run long enough. It was pouring down rain when I was there, so the guy really didn't want to get something. But the truck ran fine. Didn't see any issues with it. It's more in line with what we have, so the guys using it, somewhat familiar. The other truck, the bigger one, take a little bit more money. So I'm gonna get with him about the two issues that I had with it.
All right.
Next thing is quotes for the carpeting. I think that's already been settled. Raised roads, they're gonna be putting it in. They're gonna be here Thursday at 10 o'clock.
So the quotes are all in your packet, just to give you an idea. So again, this was because Darlene reached out to us and said that they had money in the PAL budget, which stands for Putnam Alachua Levy, I think. So she had money for the carpet. She asked us to get 3 quotes, which Curtis did. The 3 quotes are in your packet. One was carpet 1 for $97.59.31. The floor store of Newbury was $14,960.52. And then the one that we ultimately went with was raised rugs and flooring for $11,457.13. So kind of the one in the middle. And then there's some pictures of what the flooring's gonna look like. So it's squares, right?
Yeah.
Right?
She wanted to square.
Yeah, the squares are rare, because then you can just rip those out in high traffic area. Right, the front door, you can just rip out a couple and replace them.
So the only thing left to do over there after the carpet is done will be the roof.
Yeah, if we can get the siding, that's last. Want to do the carpet and the roof next, hopefully. But it's been pretty good shape for roof at least.
I was there the other day, so, we really like this white color. You can just paint the rest of this place white. The wall we painted, the two walls. They're like, yeah, just go ahead and do the rest.
Next thing is speed bump for Stevens Street.
And Javi and Kyle are both here, if you want to have them speak on it. Do you want to say something? Anybody wants to say?
Well, the reason for asking for the speed bumps, and we live in the same street, as town's growing, traffic is growing, and there's some people that cut from East Street to North Court Street, and they go through Stevens Street, and they speed all along. And from the septic pump that's on Stevens Street, there's a pretty good stretch, about a quarter of a mile, up to the stop sign. And there's some neighbors that speed through it. There's some random people that speed through it, and it has become a like safety. There's plenty of kids on the street, and I mean, I know I heard today that the budget is tight, but it'll be nice if you guys could consider doing a couple of speed bumps, especially after the septic.
I don't know if you all been, when you come off Easy Street, you turn on Main Street, there's a stop sign. If you turn right, that starts Stevens Street. You got the curve, and then probably 150 yards, you're gonna come to the stop sign at Stanbridge. So I don't know police, if they speeding. I mean, if they come around, I don't know if there's people that's coming around Davis Street, going to Stevens, that are speeding. Because moreover, if the people are coming off issue, they come to the stop sign, they make that right, they go by a lift station, it's a curve there.
That's a good hill there, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
and so it's almost like a blind hill. There's kids, there's actually two different basketball goals right after the top of that hill. I mean,
The kids stay and play
they're
there.
there. That is kind of like a secluded area. I mean, it's like, almost like people use that as their track. There's always people walking, there's dogs out there, there's people walking out there, kids riding bikes. I mean, that area is definitely growing, for sure.
Some days you can see, there's a skid marks there for people doing burnouts.
That's what I'm saying, it's probably people that's coming off date, that come around Davis.
Once you actually come onto May and then into Stevens,
Yeah.
they speed around that curve. Because I had my 3 grandkids last week, or about a week and a half ago, we were out and, you know, we had this red truck just speeding right around that corner. And I'm like, okay, everybody get on the side of the road, because the 2 of them were on bikes. And, you know, my youngest grandson and I were in a little scooter like, you know, your attorney has. And I'm like, okay, that's not safe. I'm sorry.
How many you think are just 2, 3?
Probably right there at right before he leaves his house. Probably one, if you put another one, it's gonna be where the kids are playing, playing ball at. There's a couple of things that, when you do put the speed bumps there, the people that come out of the hill, when it rains, the water, from the bumps, hit the bumps, go roll down the edge. So we want to put one may be sufficient.
It'll probably slow it down from using the road anyway. Once they figure out there's something there, they'll probably.
But
If you put one there by the pump, there's a culvert, and when the water comes from either way, it actually goes off.
And the reason I'm thinking about the culvert, because the people that, when they build a house there, something will have to be done with that culvert. That culvert gonna empty right into their front yard.
I'm already having,
Yeah.
I live right there.
You live in that corner, okay?
I have to get
It's gonna be a-
plumbing.
Purchase 2, use 1 if we want to put the other one, put another one.
Yeah.
Then we have 1 spare if somebody else, if we have 1 somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I make a motion to purchase 2 speed bumps.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries.
Appreciate that.
Have y'all called the sheriff's department too?
Yeah, but, you know, I did once, and they ask you,
105 questions, and then the people are gone.
don't show up.
Issue the kids a brick.
They have to ask you the 105 questions.
Listen, they speed down Marshburn.
Yes.
The cops do too. So,
Yes.
Oh, but we're not allowed to put a speed bump
No,
on
I know.
Marshburn Child, because they said.
but when I go to jail because I done hit somebody sliding down
Put a
Marshburn,
speed bump on
when I was in front of my house.
It's
on Marshburn or
They got
Main
to
Street.
say, the cemetery,
They're kind of.
you know, back behind this Bruce house.
Yeah.
There's a tree, there's a big oak tree, and some more trees, it's in the fence line. They want to charge $600 more to clear that out. I don't think we'll put it grave there. No. So can they just move it up? Yeah, okay, they can do, okay, all right. I didn't want to tell them to go ahead and do that, and not pay $600 with that, so, okay, all right. That's all I have.
All right, appreciate it, sir.
This is
All right, Jeff is not here. You want to take that, Tom?
Yeah, I'll talk about it under my thing.
Mr. Warren.
There's not
So
much.
I think because when you, I think it's some people that maybe come in this.
Committee reports.
Because
I'll start off with the water and sewer infrastructure. I wanted to hand these out to you all here. There's 2 things I want to discuss tonight. First of all, we need to have an alternate for the position as each municipality
where they just clean that
that's
block.
involved in this thing is going to appoint a alternate. The reason for that we only have 3 members right now. And if somebody is out, we don't have a quorum, and we can't conduct business. We have decided amongst ourselves to create an alternate position for this. So we would like for the council tonight, if you feel inclined to do so, appoint an alternate for my position on that board in case I can't go to the meeting for any reason. Is that clear enough?
So you talking about on the walk session?
Yes, yes. And then I'm gonna pass these out. This is the updates, the project itself. A lot of people have been asking for these.
So you move.
Sue's got it, all right, you could, we have just got appropriated for another $50,000 from Swan River Water Management to continue our endeavor. We have also just received a $300,000 grant from the Florida Chamber of Commerce to do the planning of this project.
And what was the $50,000 for?
$50,000 came from Swan River just to do conduct business, like attorney fees, all that kind of stuff. So the total so far, we have the project itself has a $300,000 grant from Florida Commerce Department that is just, that contract has been signed, and we should have a completed plan on this project by the end of the year, hopefully, if everything goes okay. We are still receiving all kinds of support for this project, just like Natalie was talking about. People are starting to see the what-ifs that are coming down the road. We just seen a very mild hurricane come through in consideration. I went down to witness this with myself, because I probably shouldn't have done, should have been in CBT during the storm, but I was. And believe it or not, the water, if you've seen the pictures, was 3 or 4 foot deep at the dock. When I got there, which was actually, the storm come through the next morning, I was there in the afternoon, the water was already coming over the dock at that time. And everybody says, well, that's their problem. Yes, it is. It is their problem. We live up here on the hill, and we don't have that. But it's all our problem when it comes to contaminations and things that we enjoy doing. Like when I was just talking about using the boat going fishing. If they came within 2 foot of having a total sewer system being in debt down there. And I'm not here to, I'm just telling you what we see and hear on a day-to-day basis on this project, what it's going to resolve. The other thing is this, it's going to give us the opportunity to expand our sewer system for the future. Sue and I sat in a meeting one day, and the city of Newberry is fixing to have to put in a new sewer system. How much was that thing again, Sue? I can't remember all the numbers. It was over $100 million just for their new sewer system, okay? So we are at 40% capacity right now. When the new housing starts over here, and it's coming every day. It's coming every day. Every day. I mean, it doesn't have to be with that particular one, but Natalie's sitting back here in the back, and she can attest to this, and all you gotta do is get out and drive around Bronson. It's everywhere I go. So, yes, it's coming.
Well, they're bringing their kids to school, because in the last month, we probably got somewhere between 30 and 50 new kids.
So,
Yeah, I had kids today in my class, and it's like, who's so, and they're coming from all over the place, so, I don't know where they're moving all over the place, but we got a lot of new faces.
So, that's the update that I've got. I applaud Curtis and his group for the guys for the work that they did in our leak, or not a leak. We actually had a
Somebody don't know what the blue lines mean?
exactly. I'm trying to come up with something here that's not too derogatory, but you can't fix ignorant, okay? When you got a line drawn here on both sides, and it's a blue line, you know, and the blue line means it's water, okay? And we drill a hole right between them, and water starts coming up, and he's sitting there scratching his head. What is that person doing running a piece of equipment? But it's right there in blanket. And I had Sue come down and take videos of this and everything, and we will be presenting them with a hefty bill, okay? For the overtime, material costs. I told them the pain and suffering, and everything else I could come up with. So, Mr. Warren, I may need some.
Continuing anxiety.
Exactly. And we came this close to having about 5 or 6 wrecks down there at the same time because we had one. Columbia paving.
We had one.
And it was just a mess. So I asked everybody to just bear with them, but they're doing their very best. And then when that happened, here's what you're starting to see. We emptied the system, and by doing that, the system now's got air in it. And we ask you, please, go home, open up your water faucets, whatever, let that air out, because what it will do, it will generate leaks that will cause. And that's what you're seeing happen this morning. We've got leaks popping up all over the place. It's caused from this one time. How many have we had since then, Curtis?
Since the
big one? 4. And there's more coming, I promise you. So, anyhow, that's it. I mean, I said,
Can I ask a couple questions about, since you've been going to all of the meetings and you were on the board, how are they going to acquire the land to run the pipe? Do you know?
It'll be run with almost all of it will be using the
right away
and the right away for the power line.
Okay.
Now, the big cost is going to be when you go under 19, and then when you go through people's yards and all that stuff, it's going to, we're going to have to try. But that's all part of the problem.
Okay, and how have they said that the maintenance is going to be funded?
This, of course, would be self-funded. So I didn't say. There's only 3 customers.
No, I mean when it's done.
But there's only 3 customers. Okay, it's not like we have to go out and get from people that don't pay their bill. Okay, the town of Bronson, the town of Waterfield, the city of Keene, right now are the 3 customers.
You mean the city of water district?
Water district, yes, sir, are the 3 customers. They will get their water and sewer from down there. Right now, the town of Water Creek will get water only because they do not have a sewer system, but it will be coming. And the reason why it's going to be coming is because what Daddy was talking about.
2030. Right.
They don't have a choice. It's got to go in. Okay. And us, of course, we are going to continue to, as what we have spoken to, continue to use our water system, use theirs for a backup, and then use their sewer system. And we're still working on that to use it for the future. Okay.
So we're still going to just maintain our maintenance only.
The only thing we take care of is just what we're taking care of right now. Okay. We do not take care of anything else.
Okay.
Okay. And yet they will have a crew. That's what they do. It's just you'll have a CEO or whatever you want to call it. Do the after that. That'll probably be after my time.
Okay.
Live. Yeah, probably. So, next is Ms. Sherry.
No,
What?
did you vote?
Oh, yeah, we got to vote somebody.
We have to,
Yes, I need to appoint somebody.
We are voting.
We need one.
We need an alternate to serve in case, and this is just, and here's the reason why, again, I go back, if one of us are out, we've tried to expand the board where we've got more people who've asked and asked and asked, and the way the thing reads, it has to be an elected official, such as yourselves, and right now, that's, until we change that, that's the way it is, it's got to go there. So we would ask that we have an alternate in case so we can conduct business. In other words, if we, say I was sick, when we come to it, well, we have a vice chairman, and that vice chairman can take my place. But we need to have a voting person there because we don't have a quorum at that time. And their bills have to be paid. So that's the deal. So we don't have to. So.
It seems like y'all should have picked about 4 or 5 people to start off. And you want to add.
Well, the way the thing, we tried to incorporate the county and school board into it, that would give us 5. But they don't want to be involved. They're scared.
We think each entity only had one person.
Right. And that's to keep a balance. You know, we don't want Cedar Key having 2 and us only have 1.
Yeah.
That don't work.
No,
So
that's not fair.
And it's hard to have 2 members from our board council on there. You know, because the sunshine, you possibly run into that. So we don't want to, create that situation.
So the county and the school board give a reason why they didn't want to be involved?
That's the way we set it up.
That's the way you said it.
Because it is a interlocal, and Mr. Warren can attest to this probably, because it was set up as an interlocal agreement between the 3 municipalities. And that's the way it was set up.
So the school board and county didn't want to have a part in it, or didn't want to have a representative because?
The reason why the county does not is because they got a big checkbook, we got a small checkbook. That's the best way I can describe it. They're scared that if something were to happen, they would be liable. And that's what they're promoting to the general public. The difference in that is this. They have 2 systems already in the county that they have already had to take over. Manatee Springs and out here at University Areas. Those were private situations that went under. By law, the county has to pick up those and keep those running. They are running in the negative. We are right. Sue has just been asked this week to help provide guidance to the county on how to raise their rates. Because they don't know how. Okay? They will tell you they do not want to be in the ordinance. That is such a bad, it's such a bad problem for them that they don't have people enough. Now they can fix it, they can make it run. But dealing with the general public, like we deal with, just like we dealt with tonight, with the past due, they don't want to deal with that. Okay? Because it is a political nightmare. That's just my opinion.
Will this person be able to vote even though? Yes.
Only if he's not there. No, just when he's not.
Yes.
Just an offer.
Just
an offer.
okay.
That's all it is.
is there anybody that's interested in the position?
I'll leave that to y'all.
I'm not.
Say, not yet.
No.
Looks like it's Virginia House.
I just know it's gonna fall on the night I have something else and it's good.
Well, no, theirs in the middle of the day, theirs starts at 9 a.m.
Oh, no, you know that's.
Yeah, see, I do that.
You know that.
It's 1 p.m.
At
Yeah,
one.
still in school.
I still got
They
children.
rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be here next Wednesday.
You wanna do it?
I have one more meeting a month, I'm killing it.
And
Okay. If you wanna do it, go ahead. If you don't, I'll.
And the only time you would be required to do that, and I haven't missed one yet in 3 years, 2, 3.
Would it just for you, or would it just be?
Yeah, just for me.
Somebody else?
No, just for me.
Martin Creek is not. He would be able to.
They have their own
They
alternate.
have their own.
They have their own, okay, I think so. All right.
You need a motion.
Yes.
I make a motion that Tyler accept the position as the alternate for the wastewater whatever board.
I nominate Tyler to go take care of it.
All right, do we hear a second on that?
That's it.
All right, we have a second. It's by unanimous approval, you are now. Without, how do they say it? Without objection. That's what
I say, that y'all is going good.
Without objection, you are now alternate. Okay, Ms. Sherry.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
How's the hog situation at the park?
Got rid of 4.
Okay.
Haven't seen no more back. I haven't seen no fresh damage out there since them have gone. So.
Okay.
They have left.
Still do a nightly drive about 1 a.m.
So you doing drive-bys?
Just to check for them.
With the deputy sheriff sometimes.
So,
You
behind
Field
Field 1,
you know.
there's a huge, river that curves, which I know there's probably nothing we can do about it, but we kind of need to be aware that, I don't know, they don't have a pool at home, but there is actual parents that park their vehicles and let their children run and swim amok. And, we watched it.
Oh,
At the block. Yeah, like behind field
Like-
1, that's a field that you come up to on the side. There's a whole river that develops over there. We witnessed a parent pull over their vehicle, their SUV, and 2 kids, couldn't have been no more than 3rd or 4th grade. They must have played for an hour or so. Just out
They
there.
only do it once till they get about moccasins.
No,
They-
I done killed one.
Listen,
That's what I was thinking.
And that was my question, is like, is that something that we need
so then they proceeded to go turn on the water to the baseball field.
to rent?
Thank goodness that y'all had them locked. And I'm like, no, don't touch that, because you could see the water spewing out just a little bit. And he was appalled that I had the audacity to ask him not to touch it.
So were they in like bathing suits?
They had on like shorts, no shirts. I'm telling you, cold hard, you would have thought they was at Manatee.
And how deep was the water? I mean,
I don't know, 'cause they weren't real big, but they was in it. And then they went way over there to the edge of the woods, and I was like, that's probably not a good idea. So they came back from over there, and then they continued to swim. Like, if you were in center field of the park, past the gate, I'm telling you, they was out there.
They could have filmed Stand By Me too.
Thursday, Wednesday.
So
I don't even want to step in a puddle.
Listen.
Like, I can't even
They
imagine.
had leeches and everything on there.
And they was in it, and then when they got time to go, you just loaded them back up and they left. Yes.
So should we put a,
Like, and there was an actual adult watching them do this. There wasn't like somebody who dropped their kids off and left, or some kids that was already over there. There was an actual adult sitting way out by the road in a vehicle, and they was over there.
Put up signs
Swimming.
that say,
Next
"No
time,
swimming in standing water."
DCF.
So I just want to know how responsible we are for that, because it is definitely happening.
I mean, we could put up,
People don't.
No.
I know, that's what I'm saying, like, how,
I was gonna say.
They're gonna do it either way.
it's like
but
you
then
said, if they get bit or something happens to them, or,
get bit, that's.
that was my whole.
It's called an attractive nuisance, and it is an exposure, and if it happens, you should do something to discourage it.
Can we put up a sign that
But
says
they would-
beware of gators
Well,
and?
if we put up signs, no swimming in standing water, I mean, then they're at least warned.
That's the weirdest thing
Alligators or
ever.
snakes or something, I mean, I don't know.
You need to do at least that, yeah.
I mean, personally, I feel like it's not.
Even violators will be
Yeah.
They must not have never seen a water moccasin before, because,
Oh,
They
they
would
look
know
like
that's
they,
prime
they look
habitat.
like they knew Florida language.
really?
You might want to add that.
They ain't never come across a pissed off water moccasin yet then.
Well, it sounds like they know to go look for that after it rained.
Yes.
So it wasn't the first
So it
time.
wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
No, they was
They
real
familiar with that.
They was real comfortable.
Yeah, they was familiar.
Like, hold my Capri Sun.
No swimming in standing water?
I don't know how
That
are you?
Or danger, snakes, alligators.
I've never heard of such a thing.
I mean,
Two,
Yeah.
strictly prohibited.
Okay.
Violators will be prosecuted.
I just want to know why you two did not take a video.
I know, right?
No, I was busy, I was volunteering, but somebody did take a video.
Lee, were you on the council when we built that little retention pond here?
Yeah.
This actually happened. I had Charles, because that water that stands out here on the road. Charles was up there one day, and I said, Charles, why don't you take that backhoe and dig us a nice retention pond out there so that water would go on that road. And he did a wonderful job. It looked good. And
You made somebody a fool.
we put some grass seed around it and everything else. I was sitting down there at the store one day, and got a phone call me, it had a big rain like it did, and man called me up on the phone, he said, man, you got a problem over there. I said, what is it? He said, there's about 15 head of youngins over there swimming in that retention pond. And it was slam full.
Now,
And that retention pond that thing was about as big around as this circle right here.
I'm going to say this has to do with it, really. Tyler, were you or were you not on Cambria and them, their junior or senior year at the park where we had all the flooding in the park and they were out there
oh, so
playing?
your children have been out there swimming in the dirt?
No, I will say no. My children don't like mud. Cambria was in the park videotaping it. Were you not out there with Levi and all them?
I don't think so, no.
When they were like kneeboarding and surfing?
No, I mean, I've kneeboarded down on the side of Archer Road up
Them going out there
But
playing in the swimming in the water, somebody put
I don't think I did it in the park. I don't remember when I did it.
I just think we need to put some over there just
This
so.
was by, on the road part though, like the little,
I may have been involved. I may have been involved.
I'm pretty sure you
I've been
were.
involved in a lot of stuff I shouldn't
I know,
have.
but y'all were high, but I remember Cambria being.
Don't tell on yourself on the record.
Okay, it's gonna be tomorrow here, pretty soon. All right, you got anything?
That was it, just to make sure we get that covered.
All right, we'll take care of that.
Did you want to talk about your pros and cons of employee engagement surveys?
I asked them to read it over and then I'll bring I didn't bring the questions to start.
Okay, so next time?
Because I had to work it. So sad and disappointed, but I had to work.
Todd.
Let's see. Jeff will give his report for calls and stuff, but we got all the stuff there for the exhaust system. Still waiting on to get that installed.
We put the doors up?
Yeah, they did come fix. They still got one door to fix.
Yes,
It's the back door on the second bed, but they put the new door up on the one that was broken, adjusted some other ones. They got one more they got to adjust that just started like one side was shut all the way, the other was like an inch up. But they fixed the one that was completely broke, so it opens now.
It was baby box. Where we at on the baby box?
They're waiting on the testing or something.
No, the baby
No, it was
box
the alarm system, something.
The baby box people called me today and said they had talked to Gail, and we were supposed to reach out to them before we started the testing.
Yeah, we haven't started the testing because the alarm system was messed up.
Jeff was supposed to start like 2 weeks ago. And I've been on
Did
vacation.
they ever
so
fix
now-
the alarm system? They started, went to go do the testing, and the alarm system was only set to come to, it was gonna call Jeff's phone, and it was gonna call,
I thought it was only Jeff's phone.
it was gonna call like the
no.
station phone and Jeff's phone.
It wasn't going to notify 911.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna call dispatch, and it wasn't gonna let anybody else know, so they had to go back in.
But I think
do
Nick's
something.
involved in that too, because I remember reading the email, so
Yes.
you might want to reach out with Nick.
Yeah, I knew they had to go back from Nick to the whatever with the alarm company, because that's hooked into the fire alarm system, which is IT, because it makes the fire alarms go off too. And then they had to make sure it was notifying dispatch before they could do any kind of testing. But other than that, fire station is very busy. Had I think I ran 24 calls from Thursday to this morning. Probably like 8 of those were not good, critical calls. So they're busy. We're busy. They're gotta find some help.
Are we closer with the, the merge, the other people?
Yeah, there is in the county's court now. They done come, took all their measurements and stuff. They're not going to do anything till after the new fiscal year,
Okay.
so they can do it for their budgeting purposes.
Okay.
So it'll be at least October 1.
Okay, I think you said that already.
But it's all, they've done their measurements. They come and did not the final meeting, but Harold came and met with Jeff twice. A week ago, and they figured out what room they're going to make the battalion chief room, which is their captain that's on duty with the rescues, because he's going to have his own separate space and not be in the bunk room with everybody else, so that way he can have his own computer system and everything. So they chose that. They figured out what doors they're going to do for the bunks, and now they're just working with their
So they got a plan, they just have
they
to
got a
wait.
plan. They just got to wait till October 1, and then they'll get their paging system in there. They'll have it have to be between Nick and their guy, whatever his name is, off the top of my head. Their guy who does their paging system, and they'll have to get that solved so they can have all that stuff ready to go.
Do we need more people because there's more calls, or have we lost people?
We haven't lost people. They're just not coming. There's not one. I mean, they're wanting to. They pick up shifts. It's just you got volunteers.
Right.
People are working sometimes.
They're regular jobs.
They might work every day, but they have Saturday off. They don't want to come
On that
work on
Saturday.
Saturday. So I mean,
What? That's it? Okay. Ms. Virginia?
I have a few things. So I know that the hurricane messed up our trash getting picked up. They came back on Saturday instead of Friday, and they still ended up missing the trash on 240 Pine Street, which ended up having dogs rip the bags open, and it is everywhere. 240. It's Edwards.
Oh, okay.
So, also, me, myself, Ms. Schuler, Mr. Schuler, and Ms. Sue went to an ethics training in Dixie County. I enjoyed it. We learned a lot. It was highly suggested that towns do like an ethics exercise, and I personally don't see a reason why we shouldn't. And it's not for every meeting, it's every other meeting, every 3 months, 2 months, whatever y'all decide. But I think that it would let the citizens know that we care about ethics, and it is very important to us.
I spoke to her in the meeting and asked her if she'd be interested, and she said she was. I have her business card, I just need to reach out to her, but I'm glad you brought it up.
Okay. If the county is being very nice because it's election season and they're throwing stuff out there, and you get another opportunity to snag something, could you ask them about doing our permit? I mean, just asking because it would save us some money, like quite a bit of money. How is Kokinzi's case going? Has she went before the?
No, the meeting's on the 28th of this month.
Okay. The cameras in the park.
put one up, but they have to do a software update.
Okay.
Should have received a couple of things. but-
Also, the, on Glover Street, there is, and this has been going on for a long time, so don't think that it's anything new. Anyway, on Glover Street, when it rains pretty hard, you have like a huge puddle in front of the speed bump, in front of Mr. Elijah's house. And I know that several times people have tried to, remedy the issue, but if we could keep working on that, trying to get that resolved, so that there's less water there, that would be great.
Is there a culvert out there or anything?
It's more so in front of the church, right?
It is.
The church.
It's where that speed bump is.
Yeah.
And it's not a huge issue unless it rains a lot, and then it really is a huge issue. You're better off going down Fairground than going down that road.
But there ain't no children swimming.
Oh, no, don't put your swimming in that.
No, they just getting baptized.
So I called the county, about Marsh Run being resurfaced, and they said that it is on the list, but they don't know what number on the list it is. While I was talking to Mr. Casey, I also asked him for speed bumps on Main Street. And he said that it's illegal. I then looked it up, it is illegal. It's illegal to put speed bumps on any road that's not privately maintained. So as long as we are maintaining the city roads, we can put speed bumps there. But you cannot put them on the county roads.
Unless they would agree to maintain them. Or you can't put them there at all.
No, it's not suggested that you put them there at all. I looked it up, but I was sure that it's been probably.
They can put them
There
there.
were speed bumps.
They're just not gonna put them there because they got dump trucks around.
Yeah, but there were speed bumps on that road before it was resurfaced.
It's a liability. If you look it up on Florida statutes, it says that you're not supposed to.
That dump truck drivers will refuse to go to that speed, if they put them in there, that's why they ain't gonna do it.
There was, before they resurfaced that road, there were speed bumps
Yeah,
on
there
that
was.
road.
Yeah.
There was one right there at the curb, there was one right there in front of, right across from Miss Mary Jane house, there was one right there, it was one right there in front of Mr. Roosevelt's house. It was 3 or more speed bumps on that road before. So did that change when they resurfaced it? Because I know that there was speed bumps on that road.
I promise you, you can look it up. I promise you.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe you, I'm just saying there was speed bumps there.
I was prepared to call him back. He said that he could, put a suggested speed sign on the curve, because I actually asked him for 2 speed bumps, one in front of the cemetery and then one in front of Mr. Reese's house, because, you know, the curve. And, he said that he could put a suggested sign on the curve, and that it would only be suggested. And then he could get Lee County to ride more.
Yeah, right.
That has changed so much in the past few years and all the issues we've had on Main Street, and
So-
how much help you just got.
When we were in the ethics training in Dixie County, something sparked to me, like it sent chills through my body. So I need to ask a question. We have not passed the resolution for the baby box, for the releasing of infants yet, correct?
Didn't do my hearing.
Good. Okay, can we not do that until it's up and running? Because when I heard that in the.
We're not passing a resolution at all, we did a contract.
Right. No, I'm talking about the release of,
The information.
no, the infant.
Oh.
Like you have to, like, once it's done, you could pass a resolution where someone can drop off their infant. But from what I understand, there was somebody from a different town there that was talking about it, and it sounded like they did it before the baby box was actually finished, and that sounded horrible.
The chief one chose to go with the resolution instead of the contract. We went with the contract instead of the resolution.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
No,
Because-
the only time you have to have, there's no resolution that officially opens it up for accepted kids.
I just wanted to clarify, because the way it sounded, like they had approved the resolution, and passed the resolution, and then they had the baby box. So in my head,
That's the option they went with, so that's what they had to do in order to get the.
What would be wise and make sense, once it's actually up and functioning, there, whether you call it a resolution or just a notice, something should be in the paper.
Right.
People should be specifically advised if, God forbid,
Yeah, there'll be a big ceremony too, they come down and do a thing.
Yeah, okay.
Chief Lynn,
But yeah, we put an official notice.
Yeah, I'll have it in the, there's a blessing ceremony, it'll be in the newsletter, but yeah, chiefly what the issue was that, Melissa John was talking about, was their attorney didn't like the wording in the contract, same contract that you guys passed, and so he changed it and sent it back to the baby box people, and they wouldn't approve the changes. So they were at a stalemate, like he didn't want to give and they didn't want to give.
That's why they
it
moved the
sounded like the resolution was passed with no baby box. And I just think that
Yeah, it had to
that
be.
sounded
They
disastrous.
had to, they had to pass the resolution in order to move forward with the baby box. Just like we had to accept the contract in order to move forward.
contract is different. Resolution is,
Yeah, that's why we want to talk.
okay, and then one last thing, in the newsletter, that y'all are doing, can you, put in there about blowing, grass back onto people's properties? Because, yeah, well, it's illegal to, when you mow your grass, you're supposed to blow your clippings back onto your grass because of motorcycles.
Okay, so not in the road, you're saying, not in.
Right.
Okay.
But there's a lot, like in the last month, I mean, you know, it's been raining, we've been having a whole lot of grass growing. But, there's been a lot of it. And although the motorcycles drive me nuts, I would hate to see somebody hurt.
Is it on
because of-
27 that they're doing?
It's all over town. And it's just that, honestly, like, the only person that I see blowing it back onto the grass is Mr. Tony. Like, so I know that people do clean up after themselves, but, I mean, other than him, I don't really see nobody.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was the county or the state and their people coming out and doing the main roads.
Oh,
because
no.
when I think of 27, that's where I make, you know, all the motorcycles.
But I know it's illegal.
Yeah.
Because of motorcycles.
You could do a motorcycle safety.
Yeah.
Some things to help.
Can you put the public hearing for the Bronson Youth Sports on the Facebook page tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and thank you, Mr. Curtis, for making sure we got water. It's been rough. But I was so glad you ain't went on vacation no time soon. Yes.
Well, they was talking about the boil water notice and all the different stuff. Somebody made a comment that their water still wasn't right afterwards, but Virginia always puts a polite message in the response.
I
said a polite response.
I was gonna say, you know, you're supposed to call that number that you report people at and ask them for that information, not run to Facebook.
All right, Mr. Franklin? Good. You good?
You guys can start getting the word out about the Facebook too. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I've been sharing. I've been sharing everything.
Get it out, because in the beginning I was still kind of like, but I think we're good now.
Yeah, it's good.
I always make sure that I just limit the comments to anybody who's tagged in it.
And for anybody that I just ran into this because I have two people that I'm friends with who refuse to get a cell phone at all, period whatsoever. So they had no clue about the water being off or about the boil water notice. So when I was talking to Kelly about possibly putting like the door hanger that they used to use back in the day, she said with the new system, it will also call home phones. So wherever we want. Just letting you know, because I've learned that. So if you know somebody that refuses to get a cell phone.
Until that comes up, if you let them know if they call emergency management and do sign up for emergency management notifications, we sent out boil water notices through Levy County Emergency Management.
I didn't get that.
I did.
Yeah, I got the phone calls, the text messages.
Text message right after that.
So you
But
might
they don't call me about the city stuff. They call me
We
about
have
the
to-
hurricane stuff.
No, they did the city stuff too, about picking up the limbs and
But they
they
only
sent
do that
out the
for us
rules.
if we request it, so we use a big boil water notice
Okay.
to request it, yeah.
So just to let you know, I disseminated the information, just so everybody's on the same page, through the text message, through Levy County, the Levy County
Emergency
EOC,
management.
Emergency Management. It was on our Facebook page, it was on our website, it was on our marquee. I sent it to TV20, I sent it to Hardison Inc., I sent it to Terry Litt, I sent it to Linda Cooper.
What? You know how about everybody?
9. It was in 9 places. So if you didn't get one of those 9 things, it's on you. I mean, really.
And the thing from the county keep calling you until you hit one to say you got the message.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. I was in the city hall when the lady called up and went off the reservation.
Oh,
She didn't get notified.
Well, I guess
The
And
amount
I
of
say this
people that
again,
have cussed
you can
me,
bleed them to water, but you can't make them drink.
the amount of people that have cussed me, Sue, Kelly, Vicky, right? Those are the only, yeah. And
I only have two, so.
But the amount of people that have yelled, screamed, and cussed at us over the past week and a half
And I've witnessed it.
I
has.
mean, we all worked that Friday until 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
We were all here till 9 o'clock at night, so.
Kelly came in there the other day with one like this, and she said, you gotta take this one.
So if you hear of a complaint that Wendy was rude to somebody, I will openly admit, Sue will tell you that when I am rude back to somebody, I openly come to Sue and say, hey, you're gonna get a complaint because I was rude. Because I will think so much before I'm going to say something back. I won't cuss at you, but I'm gonna check you very
He
nice.
was playing table tennis with Pig.
There might have been
I
that.
approve that.
True. All right.
And that's,
Yep, I'm sure. Anything else? Nobody else will say anything? Good. I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills. Probably do the second to pay the bills. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries.